Well, for the first time this year, it's actually colder outside than it is inside Invisalign Arena. Chris Lehman alongside Nick Perazzi as we get set for the final game of the calendar year between NC State and UNC Wilmington. Before we get into this matchup, though, Nick, we're going to take a look back a couple of weeks. The team had the week off for Thanksgiving last week, and it was quite a weekend the weekend before that. A lot of travel, but we're going to start with what was one of the roughest performances for NC State in a tough loss, particularly a bad third period that NC State had against South Carolina down at Truist Field.
And to sum it up, Chris, you said a poor and bad performance. That was one of the worst performances NC State Ice Pack Hockey has had in the past 4 years, in my opinion, Chris. They go down there to Charlotte, have everything hyped up, the baseball bats, the shirts, all of that happened. And then for the third period, for the Ice Pack to fall flat on their faces, hearing Sandstorm play 4 times in a row, the USC chants, the towels waving, it was dreadful for NC State. It was humiliating for the Ice Pack, and they had to take a bus ride to Fayetteville later that night. They didn't get into the hotel until 2 a.m. More than likely, players weren't falling asleep till 3, 4 in the morning, and then a quick turnaround, had a game at 2 o'clock in Fort Liberty the same day, but they were able to turn it around there.
Yeah, and you bring that game up, and that's really, to me, one of, if not the most impressive performance from NC State because of the things you mentioned there. A lot of adversity for NC State, had to bounce back from their worst 20 minutes of the season down in Charlotte, and then play a very good Army team. The Black Knights were really good. They put up a fight. NC State gave up a third period lead, but ended up winning in overtime.
Yeah, the number 1 ranked Army Black Knights in the Northeast region in ACHA hockey. That's how good they were. And that's why we play the games. That's why we don't look at the paper and say, that team's going to win, and I'm going to pick that team based off the betting spread. That's why we don't do it, because we have instances where NC State falls flat on their face against a team they beat here a couple months ago, and the next day followed up by beating a team that they really didn't have too much business in keeping up with them how they performed the previous day. Zach Herman, the game-winning goal in overtime, 6-5 win. What a comeback compared to the previous day.
Well, NC State will look to build off of that as they take the ice for the last time in 2024. We'll be back to preview the matchup between the Ice Pack and the Seahawks next. Welcome back to Invisalign Arena here in Morrisville, North Carolina. Chris Lehman and Nick Perazzi with you as we get set for UNC Wilmington and NC State. We're going to take a look at the visitors now, Nick. Wilmington, 17th ranked in the Southeast Division in ACHA Men's Division II hockey. So a solid opponent coming in at 11-8-1, but they've got a couple of names we're going to have to keep an eye out for because they provide the majority of the production on the front end.
Yeah, for those that are Ice Pack fans at home, remember last year, number 9, Schrock, for Wilmington, no longer with the program. Levy graduated, but now for Wilmington, 2 guys you got to look out for. Colin Roberts, a bit of a homecoming game, the Cary native. 12 goals, 13 assists, 25 points in just 20 games. And then how about Lucas Moses? 15 goals, 9 assists, 24 total points. UNC Wilmington, a little bit top-heavy in the scoring category, but they can rely on Roberts and Moses to get the job done when they need it most.
Well, and this game will really be a test for the Seahawks tonight. 11-8-1, solid record for Wilmington, but this is going to be one of their toughest tests of this first half of the season.
It is, and it's against an NC State team that's looking to kind of clean up a pretty bad ending to the semester, trying to still fix some issues going on. I think Wilmington definitely has a really good shot of catching NC State off guard. I think they're just going to have to punch them in the mouth, make NC State makes mistakes if they want a chance this game. Otherwise, though, I think NC State's going to be really focused on their mistakes. If they minimize them, I think they'll be fine. But if they don't and they start making mistakes that pile up, Wilmington's going to have a much better chance of winning this game.
Well, and it'll be a bit of a unique opportunity for Wilmington against NC State tonight. We'll talk a little bit more about that on the other side, but we're going to take a quick break and come back and look at NC State when we return.
Why are sandwiches so much better hot?
I don't know. Why does everyone love summer or hot gossip? Hotter is just better.
Oh, don't forget about hot ovens or hot peppers.
Hot springs, hot chocolate,
Hot sandwiches.
hot soup, hot air balloons, hot yoga.
I get it. Hotter is better.
Or hot melted cheese. Sorry.
Potbelly, we bring the hot.
Men's health is worth fighting for.
Men are 3 times less likely to ask for help if they are struggling.
Nearly 100 men will lose their lives to suicide each day.
Men are more likely to suffer from substance abuse disorders.
Men need to thrive, not just survive.
We're here to champion men's wellness.
One man at a time.
We are stronger together.
The conversation about men's mental health continues.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Ice Pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Ice Pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
Welcome to Moe's! At Moe's, we've always been inviting, but we have a bigger story to tell. A place that welcomes you to be you. Fresh, high-quality ingredients. We got that. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, let's get weird. We don't judge. Moe's wants you to come in with your crew and their appetites. Dine in, pick up, or order on the Mo Rewards app. Either way, don't just stroll in, roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
My name is Zach Herman. I'm the captain of the NC State Ice Pack, and I was born and raised in the Raleigh area. We are a self-funded program doing our best to represent our university and the local hockey community in Raleigh on a national level.
My name is Alex James, and I'm a senior assistant captain from Lake Norman, North Carolina. The group you're watching out on the ice is a family, and that family does its best to represent you and the rest of the NC State community as best we can each and every day. Some of my top memories from this program include playing in front of over 20,000 NC State fans at Carter Finley, playing in front of over 10,000 NC State fans at Lenovo Center every year, and getting to play in front of a packed house every Friday night at Invisalign Arena.
We welcome and appreciate all your support along the way. Go Pack!
Well, they're announcing starting lineups down on the ice. Chris Lehman back with Nick Perazzi up top. And Nick, we're going to take a quick look at NC State. Very unique one for the Ice Pack today. all three coaches are going to be missing. Alex Fong will take over as Coach Healy, Coach Rossetto, and Coach Mura all out of town. So a lot of things happening. The game got pushed back as well because of exams. So a lot of moving parts today.
I mean, we got here, they were telling us the reason why I pushed it back, there's players taking exams right now. The exam period was 7 to 9:30. It's one of those wacky ones. I've had it before. But another thing for NC State tonight, injuries. They are going to be stretched thin right now. They don't have Reese Johnson. He's out because of exams. And everyone else that's a scratch is because of injury right now. This team is going to be very thin going the rest of the season and going through the holiday break.
It'll be interesting to see how they handle the adversity tonight. We've got the Ice Pack and the Seahawks with Puck Drop after this.
Welcome back to Invisalign Arena here in Morrisville, North Carolina. Chris Lehman and Nick Perazzi with you here as we get set for the first period between the University of North Carolina at Wilmington and NC State. And Wilmington moving left to right across your screen in white. NC State black will move right to left. Ice Pack go with Oliver centering McEnany and Robinson up front. And on the back end, they're going to go with Corwin and Thronson. Wilmington wins the draw. Immediately turned over at the blue line. They'll battle for it there as it pops loose. Quick shot coming. Blocker save made by Isaac Toyer, who gets the start in net for NC State. We'll get to the rest of that Wilmington lineup, and we are able to catch our breath here early on. Seahawks will take control now. Back it up. Worked around the wall by Logan Neal. They'll spin it up the near side now. Be chipped along for Levy. He loses it at the red line. Robinson takes over for NC State. He'll shoot it around the glass, and it catches the netting out of play. For Wilmington, starting lineup obviously coming off the ice after that shift, but Logan Colbert out there with Zach Hansi and Corey Levy. On the back end, Logan Neal and Bobby Brower. NC State going to go to their top line here, though, Nick, with Herman centering Prasma and Finch.
Yeah, and in goal for Wilmington, Chris, it's going to be Dylan Clancy. 9-7, 0-1 record, 53 goals against, 3.24 goals against, and a team-high 915 save percentage. Best goalie for the Seahawks in the pipes tonight.
Here's a quick chance in tight. Knocked away by Toyer, who was able to fight off a shot in close. Prasma disrupted, trying to clear the zone. It'll be turned back over. The Seahawks moving back the other way. Here's Lawson. His shot squeezed by the glove of Toyer, and we'll get another face-off.
Yeah, Isaac Toyer getting the start tonight. And Chris, I think Isaac Toyer's had a really good season. He started that last game down there in Fort Liberty. Had a little bit of issues, but Army was just letting an onslaught of shots go. I believe they had 15 plus in that first period alone. So NC State's got to help them out. Not doing a good job at that right now.
Off the draw, Wilmington able to get pressure. Settle it in the near corner. Back up top, and the shot fought off by Toyer. NC State will look to break out now, a little over a minute in. Here's Herman up the left wing. He'll cut to the middle as he crosses the blue line. Drags around his man, takes it into the corner, and butt hooks there. Looking things over. Hands it off now for Prasma. Top of the circle, the shot off the blocker of Clancy and out of play. We'll get a stoppage, and NC State will complete a line change.
Well, just a quick turnaround snapshot there for Prasma. He just quickly turns, tries to catch Clancy off guard, and he kind of did there, Chris. Clancy had to quickly react, didn't really see that one all the way through. Got a bit lucky there, though. He's able to get a pad there, keep this 0-0 in the first 90 seconds.
Well, NC State off to a hot start. They don't have a goal yet, obviously, but out shooting Wilmington 4-1 here. Deflected shot wide off the stick of Kaufman. But in a minute and a half, NC State already with 4 shots on target. Kaufman again, knocked down. A couple of Seahawks there along the wall. He's able to get back up and find it again as they fight for it along the hashes. Cleared up to the blue line. Frosch absorbs a hit as he shoots it back down low. Brenner with some pressure. Has help from Nick Shook. Looking for Brenner in that right circle. It's stolen away. Wilmington will regroup. And reset on the breakout. Up the right wing wall, tracked down by NC State. Here's Kaufman with some space. The blue line for Brenner has it caught up in his skates. And the Ice Pack regroup again.
One thing I saw, Chris, during that last offensive sequence for the Ice Pack, Bradley Gray had some words for Ricky Frosch. They got into it verbally a little bit, and then they each had their sticks tied together going down towards the NC State defensive end.
Talon Langston trying to hold the zone, does so successfully. Now Corwin with the shot, and it'll be held on to by Clancy. Another face-off in the Wilmington end coming.
That's a funky looking save there by Clancy. I like that save though, as he shoots the water down his back. Just kind of stuck his glove out, stuck his blocker out, and kind of caught it. We'll get a good look at it from our camera angle. It's a really good job by Corwin finding that lane, sees a quick shot opportunity, takes it. A bit high, but able to corral it.
Bronson at the blue line as NC State wins the draw. Over to Kerwin, worked down low now by Braden Strong. Bronson along for Herman, looking to the middle, can't connect there with Strong, and it'll be taken over by Wilmington. Siggins gains the red line and shoots it in. First one to it is Wilmington's Jacob Benny. He's knocked down in the corner. Able to work it down below the goal line, though. Wilmington will try and set up here. One-timer. Ooh, it's a slap pass over to Benny on that far side, and he couldn't direct it on goal. Cleared out by Strong. And now Wilmington starting to get some pressure. Bronson has some trouble in that near corner. She's going to look up close. Corwin will move it along. He's got Langston over on that far side. He'll spin with it, looking for space. Talon Langston loses it momentarily. Right to Braden Strong, though. He'll shoot it in. NC State needs a change. Break wide pass to Ronzi. Stolen off his stick by McEnany. He'll bring it in. Pestered from behind, has it stolen away cleanly by Corey Levy. He'll race through the neutral zone with it now. Takes the shot around Weglars, and finding it all the way was Toyer. He'll make an easy glove save.
Well, right now, Chris, UNC Wilmington's got 5 shots to just 2 for NC State. NC State, though, last about 2 minutes. They've turned the tide offensively, but Wilmington's starting to get some more offensive zone time. They're taking quick shots. I think if they just set something up, they had a really good chance with Benny on the quick one-timer on the stick side of Toyer earlier. If they get more plays like that, they'll certainly find the back of the net.
NC State with it, Weglars. Moves it over to Lapani, touched along by Robinson, but not out. It'll be pitchforked back in now by Logan Colbreth. Awkward carom off the boards, found by Lapani. He'll steer it backhand behind the net. Centered out in front, just wide. Levy had a man open, and they couldn't quite connect. It was Colbreth, and NC State dodges one there.
Yeah, Weglars didn't know where that puck went. I couldn't see who passed it back for him, but he was not ready for that.
Here's Oliver with the shot, deflected on the way in. And Wilmington will get to it behind their own goal. Good hustle play by Robinson to slide back on side to keep that play going.
Looked like a slide tackle from a soccer player. I was impressed.
Lapani at his own blue line. Threads it through for McEnany off his skate deep. NC State needs to make a line change. Just about 5 minutes gone in this first period. Still looking for somebody to open up the scoring. Frosch has space down the left wing. He'll look to the middle. Decides to power past his defenseman and loses it back behind the goal. Seahawks take over. Kai Levy looking cross ice. Throws it behind his intended target, Lawson. NC State gets to it first. Herman, little give and go with James, but the pass back is off his skates. Out in front, chance for Wilmington. 2 tries, both stopped by the pad of Toyer, and he's been sharp here early to keep this game scoreless. Now Prasma. NC State trying to work quickly in transition, but they're offside as Finch couldn't quite drag the foot long enough.
Well, NC State, first 5 minutes down, the big focus is going to be turnovers and crisp passes. Second time the Ice Pack have turned it over behind their own net because they weren't ready for a pass or it wasn't crisp. And Wilmington got 2 very good high chance shots, one of them just over the crossbars. Toyer got a piece of it. NC State's very lucky though.
Frosch will send it in after NC State wins the neutral zone draw. It'll get pinned along that right wing wall, held in by James at the blue line. Tosses it across to the near side, Shook with the shot wide. Again, it's James keeping it up inside the line. Down low for Kaufman. He'll be pinned to the wall, works out of that behind the goal. Turns on a dime. Looks over, it's off the skates of James. Ricochets out to Brenner, who can touch it back down deep. All the way around the wall for Nick Shook. He's going to be bodied up as he sends it back below the goal line for Kaufman. Touched along, trying to find Brenner, but can't. And now the Seahawks will clear.
Yeah, big clearance for Wilmington there. Shook got hit from behind, didn't see it. Ooh, on an icing there, though.
Just barely enough.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised there that actually made it all the way down for icing, so they won't be able to get a change, Chris. And NC State's going to keep rolling with that second line. They've struggled the last couple weeks, that Shook and Holden Coffin line. They've got Aiden Brenner out there. We've seen Braden Strong out there on that second line a little bit as well, but they've been struggling in terms of putting points up in the point department. It'll be interesting to see what they do to combat that.
Right off the draw, having to beat Johnny on the spot is Clancy, and he makes the save and holds on for another draw. That was a sneaky little draw.
Yeah, it was, and it's just kind of a set play. You know, they redraw and Kaufman just right off of it tries to jam on home, and you're right, Chris. They're trying to catch Clancy off guard right now.
Another face-off. Tied up along the wall. Wilmington comes away with it, but it's knocked loose in the corner, and now Kaufman trying to move with it before it's knocked away. Bronson just outside of the blue line, plays it across for Shook, steps around his man, fires, and the save made by Clancy. Controls the rebound as well, and we'll get another offensive zone draw for the Ice Pack.
Well, I mentioned the point drought the second line for NC State has, but it doesn't feel like it's that big of a drought because of the opportunities they're getting. Nick Shook, another rocket of a shot, just couldn't get it elevated enough. They're getting good looks. They're getting good offensive zone time, as we'll get a redraw back in the circle. They're getting good zone time, but they're just not finding the back of the net. It's just an insolvable object right now for NC State. It's just a brick wall there in that second line, and they don't know how to break through it.
Here's Herman on the face-off for NC State up against Corey Levy, or pardon me, Nick D'Andrea of Wilmington. They'll tie it up along the circle, and the play out to the blue line hops the stick of Corwin. He'll have to chase after it. Sweeps it up that far wall, played along by Strong as a couple of Seahawks collide in the neutral zone. Wilmington able to take it back as Talon Langston tried to go 1-on-2. Turnover right at the top of the circle. Herman has trouble controlling it, and now Gray goes skate to stick to get it out and shoots it right past D'Andrea and all the way down for icing.
Another icing for Wilmington, this time just not on the same page with the pass, and it comes back to bite them. I don't think they were going to go for a line change with the forwards. Maybe the two deep pair would, But it's going to be another long shift for the Seahawks. They're going to have to bring back out Landrum, who's out there. Graves going to come back out.
Keep an eye on Nick Dandria. He'll be in the face-off dot with Herman here. They had a few words and a little pushing and shoving coming back down the ice after the icing call. But I think both sides a little bit sloppy here for NC State. Most of your line pairings are the same or similar, as right off the draw, Weglar's shot is squeezed by the glove of Clancy. But, if you look at it,
Weglar's just got hit a little high there, right in the face, going at it right in front of us with Dandria. And he's going to send Dandria. And I think they're going to send both.
Send both, yep.
I feel like Dandria should have got the first one. There's no reason for him to hit him up high. It was right in front of us, and then Weglar's retaliated. They're going to get the player retaliated. Dandria did it again to make sure he went into the box. So it's going to be more than likely, it looks like 4-on-4. That's what they're holding up. So that changes everything.
One thing, I talked with Alex Fong, who's serving tonight as the head coach for NC State, about this game coming up, and one thing he said for NC State is very important. They've got to keep their heads tonight. It's been kind of the scouting report on them for most of the year, but in particular with this Wilmington team, they know that if they can get under NC State's skin, it's going to give them a lot better chance to stick around in this hockey game as the game wears on. So 4-on-4 for 2 minutes. That should favor NC State a little extra space, as they've got Prasma and Herman out there as the forwards with Lapani and James on the back end. Pass intercepted by Corey Levy. His pairing up front is Zach Onzi. And now Levy brings it in, fakes the slapper, now wrists one wide from the right wing. Up the wall, it'll be held in by Brower, who shoots it around. Cleared out by NC State. Nobody over on that far side. Herman gets there first and leaves it for Lapani, whose shot hits his stick and deflects up and out of play.
That was interesting right there, Chris, because Herman dropped it off for the Lapani, the D-man, and then Herman went back and played defense. Lapani was all alone there and just shot it high. So it might have just been, hey, shoot it, and we'll go for a change maybe. But that was a little bit interesting what NC State had going on there.
Kaufman on the draw for NC State, unable to win it against Logan Neal, and now Wilmington will look to break out. Up the right wing, Roberts now. We talked about him pregame. He'll be a guy to keep an eye on in the offensive zone for Wilmington.
Penalty on
now
Moses.
Kaufman. It looks like we're going to get a tripping penalty here on Wilmington. If I'm NC State here, I want to give this puck up and try and get some time at 4-on-3. They're going to carry on, though. Here goes Herman. It's 5-on-4 now with the empty net on the delayed penalty. Here's Kaufman now. Plays it up the wall. Sodden gets to it. He'll fire away, and it's stopped by Clancy and held on to. Now we'll get the penalty, and NC State will have 44 seconds of a 4-on-3 power play.
Yeah, and a tripping on Moses in the O zone for Wilmington. It's going to be 3 seconds of 4-on-3. Then it's going to be 5-on-4. But a really good opportunity for NC State. This power play has been their strong suit all season long. We've seen them score on it time and time again. And when they score on the power play, they perform a lot better in games. South Carolina didn't score on the power play, didn't win that game. If they're successful and have great percentages on the power play, that's what's been leading them to wins this season.
NC State will go with Prasma, Kaufman, Thronson, and Shook. 3 forwards and a defenseman on this 4-on-3 as it's shot up and into the netting. Caught the glass first on the way out on the clearance from Kai Levy. So they'll do it again from the opposite side of the ice.
Yeah, I do want to note it's 40 seconds left on 4. A 4-on-4 technically, so it's going to be 40 seconds 4-on-3.
Now Thronson, NC State wins another O-zone draw. Shook down low for Kaufman. It slips under his stick. He'll retrieve it below the goal line. Trying to move it up top. That's denied by Levy. Some help now from Prasma. Good work by Kai Levy here on the kill. Prasma eventually kicks it up the wall and finds Thronson. Across for Shook. Walks it in. Back to Prasma. Over to Kaufman. They score. Oh boy. Tic-tac-toe. NC State on the power play.
And that was beautiful from NC State. Tape to tape. I think this is their best goal all season because it just shows how much space they created on 4-on-3. From the point to Shook, to Prasma down low, and Kaufman's just right on the glove side. Nothing that Dylan Clancy could do there. That was a beautiful goal from NC State. More than likely a set play they've worked on in practice.
They get the goal on the power play. We're back to 4-on-4, and it's a 1-0 NC State lead.
So the Ice Pack take advantage of their first power play of the evening. Just over 11 minutes left in this first period. We'll see how the power play goal opens things up as Thronson scoops up the loose puck in the corner, moves it up for the open man in Robinson. Played along for Oliver, fires away. Juicy rebound off the pad of Clancy. It's slapped in on goal by Thronson. And Clancy gets back to it. Face-off coming.
Just want to go back to that goal one more time, though, Chris. Kaufman's known as someone that racks up assists, not goals, especially with Shook on that same line. And then he gets the two top guys in goals on the team, Shook and Prasma, to get assists, and he gets a goal. It's just a beauty of work that NC State had there. Just really phenomenal job by them.
Wilmington looking to break out off the face-off. It slips past Emery Oliver and out. Ice Pack will gather it just inside their own blue line. Bronson up to McEnany. He'll send it deep. Stopped on the side of the goal by Clancy. Seahawks trying to settle it down. Siggins there. Backhands it behind the goal for Levy. Pinned to the wall momentarily by Oliver. Slips loose from there. And now he'll move past McEnany and out. Levy played along for Landrum. He'll move in. Looking to the middle. Excellent play by Weglars to deny the pass to the middle. Floating shot pops up over Toyer and wide on the second try, though. Now Lapani shoots it back around. Weglars to it. Pokes it forward. Reaching for it. McEnany has it. Slides it to the middle. Can't connect there with Robinson as Kai Levy intercepts and dumps it all the way down. This should be icing.
Yeah.
Oh, they'll wave it off.
I was going to say Wilmington's racking up a lot of icing calls, but they waved that one off. And now a good offensive chance for NC State.
McEnany down to Finch, looking to the middle, can't connect with Herman. It's right back to him. Played to the slot again, and it's stolen once more. This time the Seahawks get it out. Carried forward now by Onzi. Leaves it, shot, stopped there by the pad of Toyer. Good shot from Corey Levy. And Wilmington getting some offensive zone pressure again. Back out, James. He's got Herman, carries it into the zone, but a little bit of a delay there from the captain, and NC State's offside.
Well, one thing that NC State's not been doing good so far, I think, is shots in front. They're having about 4 or 5 guys right in front of the net, and they're not spacing well on it. You know, NC State's it's been a problem all season for them. Teams that they face, they'll get a shot, and everyone on NC State's crowded around. It's a long rebound, or the other team's able to get it back. In this case, Wilmington tonight, they're able just to move it back to the point. There's so much traffic in front. Someone's going to be wide open, and it's cost them a lot of goals. It's a big reason why South Carolina was so dominant that third period, and it was because NC State was just not getting their rotations down defensively.
9:18 to go. NC State ices the puck, so face-off comes back to their end. Shots favor the Pack, 9-7 at the moment. As Herman on the draw against Levy. Carried out now by Prasma through the neutral zone, trying to connect there with Finch and Camp. Ice Pack regroup at their own blue line. Pass forward intercepted just inside the blue line. Shot off the stick of Colbreth. Is gloved and held by Toyer.
Well, Colbreth was hitting Prasma in the neutral zone, then gave him an extra shove into the Wilmington bench a little bit. And something to note, these two teams are going to play tomorrow down in Wilmington, 2-hour drive down I-40. And if things get chippy tonight, it's going to be a huge point of emphasis for both squads and both coaches to just stay calm. It's already a big focus for NC State. Like you mentioned, Chris, you spoke with Alex Long before the game. You got to keep your head on a swivel, and you got to play with your head first instead of emotions.
NC State clears to alleviate some pressure. No icing on this one, so play will continue. Thronson now. D to D for Sawden. Tipped into the zone by Thronson and by Langston. And NC State will go after it. Levy behind his own goal. Steers it around to the near corner. First one there is Gifford. Swept across. Deflects off a stick and over to the far corner. Collected again by the Seahawks. They're unable to clear yet. Good forecheck here from the Ice Pack. Levy now behind his own goal, trying to set something up. He'll just carry it into the neutral zone himself. Quick give and go with Moses. And Levy down the right wing, able to get it deep. Get a look up close. Sawden in there to defend. Played back up the wall. NC State able to clear it out. Here comes Talon Langston. He's got Strong with him. Looking to the middle, can't connect with his teammate. I think Strong out of gas at the end of a shift too. Now Aiden Brenner tips it back down low. Langston steps away from a hit, trying to find some support. Brenner in to help. Puck squirts loose. Now it's Kaufman moving it up top. Lapani walking with it. Shoots away. Pad save made by Clancy. Kick back out to Weglars. Across for Kaufman. It's in his skates. He can't get a clean shot away as they scramble on the side of the goal. It's back out to Lapani, who shoots again. Rebound loose there on the side once more. Picked up by Kaufman. Backhanded out in front, and it's through the skates of Brenner. Wilmington able to carry it out as Lawson gains the red line and sends it deep.
That was a mismatched line there. Kaufman out there with a couple of the third and fourth liners, and he's making a lot of plays. Kaufman is on fire tonight, by far NC State's best player. Several great opportunities that he created, or his teammates created for him right in front.
Brenner trying to shoot it deep. That one didn't get all the way down low. So now Wilmington can work the breakout. Cross ice pass connects with Logan Neal. He'll pick up speed through the neutral zone. Carries it down the right wing into the corner before it's poked off his stick. They'll battle away there along the wall for it. Right up along the boards. 5-man scrum. 3 black ice pack jerseys in there. Looks like it's Corwin, Brenner, and Kaufman. They've got Graves pinned to the wall there. It finally comes loose. And Weglars throws it off the glass and all the way down. This one's got enough gas for icing too, so NC State can't make the change.
Yeah, and they've had 4 players come off the ice there. So those 4 are going to have to come back on now. And I mean, for NC State, 6:28 down, you're up 1-0, out shooting Wilmington by 3. You've generated a lot of good offensive chances, but again, it's defense right now for NC State. Getting back in transition on odd man rushes, even man rushes, just getting back and playing defense and staying in your zone, playing your rotation is going to be key for the rest of this game because they've struggled with that a little bit so far.
Wilmington wins the draw, thrown from an off angle on goal. Easy pad save for Toyer. NC State can't clear his leave. He slaps it back down low. Found in the corner by Weglars. He'll shoot it up the wall and out. Returned back into the NC State zone though. Up the wall for Shook. Plenty of time and space at the red line. He'll send it all the way down below the goal line. Oliver gets to it first now for the Pack. Sent up to the blue line. James has trouble controlling it, but holds the zone. Kicks it down into the slot where he's got Robinson. Shoots and scores from the high slot. What a finish by Robinson. And NC State lead is 2-0.
Well, this all starts from Alex James, someone who was very vocal after 2 weekends ago about just overall trying to get his boys fired up in this team, and he finds his senior and Zach Robinson, who's able to get right into the slot, fire one home, and is able to make it 2-0. Just the effort from Alex James, that's what he's trying to preach to his players as an alternate captain. He's trying just to show that they can play with more effort, and he showed and exemplified that right there, because otherwise Robinson doesn't get wide open.
NC State in control in their own end. D-to-D pass finds James. He'll thread one through the middle off the stick of Emery Oliver and shot right back out by Bobby Brower. Again, James moves forward for Robinson. He touches it along to Oliver, trying to drag his way around the defenseman, but it's poked away nicely by Nolan Taberham. Sliding past the check there. Brower loses the puck. They'll fight for it through the neutral zone, and Wilmington is in offsides.
Well, going to go back to that goal one more time, this time focusing more on Zach Robinson. He sees Alex James, staying with it, had the puck knocked away a little bit, a little difficulty controlling it, but it drew another Wilmington player over. Robinson found the slot wide open. How about Wilmington there doing what NC State needs to work on, defensive rotations, leaving guys open right in front. And it allowed Robinson just to skate to the slot and make it 2-0.
Monty sends it deep. Tate Sodden first there for the Pack. Up for Finch, poked along by Prasma and out of the zone. Wilmington shoots it right back in. Under 5 to go in the first period. It took about 8.5 minutes before we finally saw a goal. NC State has since doubled their lead just a minute ago. Now we'll get an offensive zone draw for the Pack.
Yeah, and NC State going to the upperclassmen today. Kaufman, now they've got James finding Zach Robinson. So they're using these upperclassmen well. These young guys that are like Prasma, as Herman tries one off the shot. They have a lot of points, but right now it's just the upperclassmen taking control.
Behind their own goal. Worked along by Neely, rink wide, off the stick of Colbreth, who didn't get to the red line first. This will be icing on Wilmington.
I mean, that's about 4 or 5 this period on Wilmington. That's something I think you got to focus on in intermission. You don't really talk about it much as a team, but limiting icing, that can be detrimental as the game wears on. Tired bodies become more tired, and then you got to stay out there another shift. NC State able to get their fresh bodies on there right now. They lose the draw at that first line, but they're going to go right with that forecheck again.
Clearance fails. Sawden holds the blue line on that right side. It'll be shot right back out, though, by Kai Levy, and now NC State has to retreat with it. Bronson shoots it off the stick of Herman, and no icing here on NC State as Logan Neal slaps it up the near side. Now Levy. Played forward for Corey Levy. He'll move in on Weglar's down the right wing. Sweeps it back to the middle. Quick shot swallowed up by Toyer with 4:01 to play.
Yeah, Wilmington, once again, one other aspect I think they could focus on heading into the second period and for the last 4 minutes as Langston getting into it with Ons and then Colbreth giving him a little bit of a shove. So it's something they could look out for. It's right at center ice. Langston coming back, but again, one thing I think, though, minus all the after-curriculars, is that Wilmington needs to look for higher percentage shots and get set up offensively. They're taking too many quick shots. They had a lot of good looks about 5 minutes in, but ever since then, it's just been a quick shot, whether it's good or a good percentage shot or not.
Wilmington has to get back in their own end again. Collected by Lawson. He'll be forced off the puck. Strong holds the blue line. He stood up just on top of that circle. Gets back to the loose puck and has his pass back to the blue line intercepted. Here go the Seahawks. Shot over Toyer back behind the goal. Under 3.5 now left in the period. At the red line. Big hit laid there on Gifford, who's knocked off the puck by Lawson. Wilmington takes over. Carried into the offensive end by Brower. He'll hold up at the blue line, looking for help. Slides it down below the goal line. Given right back to him. Good stick there from Nick Shook to deflect it out of the zone and give NC State a chance to get a new D pairing out there. Turned right back, though, by the Seahawks. Taken away at the blue line. Brenner plays it for Shook. He steps around one man. Now he's got some space to work. Shook to the goal. Big save made on the far post there by Dylan Clancy as Shook came in with speed. Now in transition, it's Colin Roberts, one of the top scorers on the Seahawks squad so far this season. Leaves it. Shot there from Taberham, steered away by Toyer. Wilmington still with pressure. Another chance in tight, and an easy save there from Toyer, as there really wasn't much on that shot from D'Andrea.
No, and that one just kind of floated in front of Toyer, able to stack it. But how about that save from Dylan Clancy on the other end? Nick Shook flying in. He rarely tries to go back around to the other side. This is being the glove side of Clancy, but Clancy stayed home the whole way. That's an excellent save by the goaltender for the Seahawks.
McEnany on the draw for NC State up against Bowman Graves of Wilmington. McEnany wins it. NC State clears it out of the zone. This one is going to be waved off on icing. Didn't get to the goal line anyhow, and now NC State can get the forecheck established. They'll pin it to that far wall. Chipped out, though, by Neal. NC State sweeps it right back in as McEnany shoots it below the goal line. Back behind his own goal, Taberham plays it along for Neal. Banks it off the wall, intended for D'Andrea, but it ends up with Alex James. He finds Frosch on the D-to-D pass. Played off the wall now for Oliver. Looking, shooting off the leg of Taberham. It almost beat the goaltender there in Clancy. Man docked down on the side of the goal for NC State. That was Robinson. Play will carry on. Robinson goes in heavy to the corner in the 2-on-2 battle. Puck squirts loose into the circle. Clearing attempt ends up with Frosch at the blue line. Played down the wall now for McEnany. Looking across. Robinson receives it on the backhand. Kicks it out in front. They score. What a play by Robinson. As he was tied up with the stick, he kicks it to Ricky Frosch, who picks up his first point of the season.
Grit from Zach Robinson. Pure grit, and then just uses his head. Let me just kick it. And how about the heads-up play from Ricky Frosch, just to go hard in down low. The graduate student from Long Island just finds that slot, able to elevate it with a wide-open net, since Clancy's expecting something from Zach Robinson. Just a really heads-up play by the senior to get his second point. And how about Ricky Frosch getting on the board with his first point in an Ice Pack uniform?
NC State now down to the last 90 seconds of the period. Wilmington looking for a quick response. Nifty little move by Colbreth, but he couldn't finish. Levy holds the blue line. Worked across for Brower. Played back over to Dandria. Shot coming. They score. Big response from Wilmington. And for some reason, down 3-1, they'll taunt the frigid sound.
I was going to say, what are they doing there? Flapping like a Seahawks. They're taunting the frigid sound, but regardless, it's what UNC Wilmington needed. 21 seconds later, they get the back of the net with Corey Levy, and it's the response they needed. Down 3-0. You don't want to go into the period all doom and gloom, and that generates something. But taunting the band a little bit, I'd say keep it on the ice. Down 3-1 now. You don't want to go out and showboat like that, because now NC State's going to try to defend their band and get underneath and play harder now, and you're already down 2.
Was a great passing play to set up that goal for the Seahawks. NC State looking to get it right back out in front. Strong looking for Langston, and it gets tied up and kicked back behind the goal. Played along into the near corner, scooped up off the wall by Roberts. He'll play it ring wide, as running over Lapani there was Lucas Moses.
He let him know. He ran over.
Lapani did his job, knocked the puck loose, and NC State takes over. Weglar's down the right wing. He'll protect the puck into the corner, looking for Gifford, who goes after it. He gets tied up, and the loose puck collected by Levy. He'll play it out for Lawson. Stood up at the red line by Langston, and NC State finds the loose puck with 22 seconds to go in the period. At his own blue line, Gifford pokes it out into neutral ice. Loose puck collected by Strong. He'll play it backwards, and Lapani pushes it forward. Langston deflects it in, right on goal, and Clancy will leave it for a teammate there in Tabran. 4 seconds left in the period. One more move forward. Kaufman steals it away, and that will finish off period number 1. NC State jumped out to a 3-goal lead, but it was a quick response late in the period by Corey Levy and the Seahawks that has us at 3-1. Overall, I'd say, Nick, a good period from NC State.
It was a very good period from NC State. It's what they needed after 2 weekends ago. They've played a lot better the last now 4.5 periods. Count that overtime period as a half period, if you will. They played a lot better, and I think overall, though, the rest of this game is just going to be keeping your composure and playing with your head, not your emotions, because the way things have gone, getting chippiness with Corey Levy taunting the band a little bit as well, it's certainly something that was not on the bingo card. But overall, I think for Wilmington, just keep pushing NC State, try to get them under their skin a little bit, make a mistake for NC State, don't do that.
NC State 3-1 lead after 20 minutes. We'll be right back with Ricky Frosch, who picked up his first point of the season here after 20 minutes. NC State 3, Wilmington 1.
Tell me those face-offs.
17-11 in favor of State.
Damn, there were 17.
28 face-offs?
Yeah, I guess so.
There were a lot of icing calls.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking there. It's like, is it really on there? I appreciate it. Thank you. 14 to 13 shots in there.
Yeah, I don't get that, man. You're down 3-1.
That was funny. I'm sorry.
And it's like,
I was like, what the hell is he doing?
There's nobody here. It's not.
No.
An important game right now. We got Frosch coming. I
I'm here with Ricky Frosch. Ricky, this was your first point this season. What did it look like for you?
Yeah, I was just trying to jump in the play there, jump down low. We had 3 guys low, which we don't really want, but puck jumped out to me. I was able to put it in the back of the net, so it worked out well.
Yeah, that's awesome. You feeling it? Do you
Yes,
feel the momentum?
definitely. Yes,
Awesome.
momentum definitely swung for us, but we let them get back in there at the end. So we gotta come out strong here.
Yeah. What's the team looking to do to kind of break through their defense going into this next period?
We are definitely getting pucks in deep on them. We feel like their D are not their strong suit, so we get it in deep. We go chase it. We'll have luck here. So.
Yeah. It was a later start to tonight's game. How are you guys going to continue that momentum going into the rest of the game?
I think the guys are pretty hyped up just to play UNC Wilmington. It's kind of a rivalry. It's not our number 1 rival, obviously, but we're hyped up to go, so it doesn't matter about the late start.
Awesome. We'll be back with Nick and Chris with more in a moment.
Why are sandwiches so much better hot?
I don't know. Why does everyone love summer or hot gossip? Hotter is just better.
Oh, don't forget about hot ovens or hot peppers.
Hot springs, hot chocolate.
Hot sandwiches.
Ooh.
Hot soup, hot air balloons, hot yoga.
I get it. Hotter is better.
Or hot melted cheese. Sorry.
Potbelly, we bring the hot.
Men's health is worth fighting for.
Men are 3 times less likely
To ask for help if they are struggling. Nearly 100 men will lose their lives to suicide each day.
Men are more likely to suffer from substance abuse disorders.
Men need to thrive, not just survive.
We're here to champion men's wellness.
One man at a time.
we are stronger together.
The conversation about men's mental health continues.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Ice Pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Ice Pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
Welcome to Moe's! At Moe's, we've always been inviting, but we have a bigger story to tell. A place that welcomes you to be you. Fresh, high-quality ingredients. We got that. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, let's get weird. We don't judge. Moe's wants you to come in with your crew and their appetites. Dine in, pick up, or order on the Mo Rewards app. Either way, don't just stroll in, roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
My name is Zach Herman. I'm the captain of the NC State Ice Pack, and I was born and raised in the Raleigh area. We are a self-funded program doing our best to represent our university and the local hockey community in Raleigh on a national level.
My name is Alex James, and I'm a senior assistant captain from Lake Norman, North Carolina. The group you're watching out on the ice is a family, and that family does its best to represent you and the rest of the NC State community as best we can each and every day. Some of my top memories from this program include playing in front of over 20,000 NC State fans at Carter Finley, playing in front of over 10,000 NC State fans at Lenovo Center every year, and getting to play in front of a packed house every Friday night at Invisalign Arena.
We welcome and appreciate all your support along the way. Go Pack!
Welcome back to Invisalign Arena. It's a 3-1 lead after 20 minutes. Chris Lehman and Nick Barrazzi with you. And Nick, very eventful period. It should get even more eventful, I'd imagine, as the next 40 minutes transpire. But before we get into what happened, let's take a look at what happened. We'll take a look at the highlights from this period. We'll start with the first goal for NC State.
And this, like I said on the call, best goal NC State had. Look how they worked from the point to Prasma, then all the way across to Kaufman. We'll get one more look at this goal. It was just a set play. NC State executed it perfectly. Watch Kaufman come across. Puck's not over there anymore, but they get the defender to turn around and a beautiful finish in front. And then going to now the second goal, and really, it's just a really good play by Alex James, keeping the puck in, staying with it. Robinson picks it up in the slot. Both defenders don't pick up the puck, which is why that lane's open. Third goal for NC State. This one's just a heads-up play by Zach Robinson. Behind the net, just kicks it out in front. Ricky Frosch gets his first, saying, get all congratulations saying, but that's not my first goal ever, but it's his first goal this season. And then on the other end, to finish things off, Wilmington strikes back, and then they get a little bit of that celebration too, taunting the band a little bit. Down now 3-1. I laughed a little bit. I thought it was a pretty funny celebration. What's the band doing here, though? Why are they catching strays, in my opinion?
Yeah, and if you're NC State here, you gotta be able to come out and start this next period strong, because it only took about 20 seconds, maybe a little bit more, for Wilmington to respond to that third goal, and they carried play after they scored that goal. So the Seahawks do have the momentum, I would say, going into the second.
They do, and they needed that momentum. Down 3-0. 3-0 lead's the most dangerous lead. We always say it, and right now it very well could be just a 13-second 3-goal lead, and then all of a sudden this game could be tied. That next one's going to be very important for all momentum. Just generating it. It could have all momentum, ice be tilted your way, one breakaway, 3-2. It's that big for NC State just to get that next goal, I think, the way they've been playing the last couple of weeks and the last month or two.
Yeah, and I think if you look at everything outside of the last about 90 seconds of the period, NC State carried the play. Yep. They moved the puck incredibly well. You couldn't ask for a whole lot more. There was good discipline in there as well.
Yeah, there was. The only thing I think NC State could work on is just defense. The shot total right now is 14-13 NC State. They only have a +1 advantage despite a +2 goal advantage. And I think it's more of just rotations defensively and just puck watching a little bit. We're going to get a little bit more on that puck watching on the other side this upcoming break. But overall, I think NC State's got two big focuses on defense, and it's right in front of the net.
Well, I think before we get to that break, we're actually going to get into that puck watching right now if you're NC State, and we're going to talk about what they need to do moving forward, because I think overall, like I said, good period, particularly on the offensive end, but cleaning up to be done on the defensive side.
Yeah, and again, it's just rotations and puck watching. A couple really good chances for Wilmington. Remember, very early in that first period, they went to Isaac Toyer's right side. They went to the far side for you folks watching at home. Nearly chipped one in past them. That was just bad rotation, bad defense, and a bad job from NC State getting back. They need a hustle getting back, and I think that's where it starts in terms of getting rotations down and not puck watching. It's hustle getting back.
Well, I think the other thing to look at that we didn't talk too much about in the first period, you mentioned his name just a minute ago, Isaac Toyer. Had some pretty big saves in that first period to keep NC State ahead, because Wilmington could have another goal or two if it weren't for the man between the pipes for NC State.
Yeah, and before we go about Isaac Toyer, how about Dylan Clancy on the other side of that rink in between the two pipes? He's the reason why this game's not 4-1 right now. It's a beautiful save on Nick Shook. He's been caught off guard sometimes. Couple of tough rips, shots in close, great angle, fast meatball shots, if you will, on Dylan Clancy. He saved, all but 11. There's 3 by him, but he's done a fantastic job. Going to Isaac Toyer now, he's faced a good bit of shots. He's gotten in his zone, but he hasn't had to make a glamorous save yet. His defense has kind of allowed that, but again, the play early in that period, the little chip Wilmington had on the weak side, nearly got by him. And that's on the NC State defense. They've got to help their goalie out. He hasn't had to bail them out yet, but it's going. You could just feel it. You could see it if you're watching this game. It's going to happen sooner or later.
Yeah, then the last thing here I want to talk about before we step aside and get ready for the second period is discipline. It's always been a story for NC State throughout the season, but this is a Seahawks team that you can tell they're trying to needle NC State, get under their skin any way that they can. A little extra bumping and grinding after the whistle, a little bit of extra in between the whistles as well. So if you're NC State, discipline is going to be key.
It is, and that's the reason why NC State's just had really, really bad games. South Carolina, third period and second period, really. Enter that period up 2-1. Just really bad discipline. They've got to fix it. They've got to stay composed. You don't got Tim Healy in that locker room to tell you. You don't got Rossetto. You don't got Coach Mir in there either. You've got Alex Fong, who's a lot younger than all of them. He used to play here just a few years ago. And sometimes with a young coach at the hands, it's a little bit difficult to play with composure, and you play more with your feelings. That's not been the case tonight. A lot of credit to Alex Fong. He's doing a fantastic job getting that composure down. That was his big moment of preach before the game to you, Chris.
Yep.
And it's worked so far tonight. It'll be interesting to see if it works the next 40 minutes.
Absolutely. I think along with that, credit to the leadership on the team as well. Captain Zach Herman, one of those guys that keeps the ship going in the right direction, even though they might not have all of their guys at the helm. We're going to take a break. We'll come back with the second period right after this.
As you can see, the ice is clean and ready to go for period number 2. Chris Lehman, Nick Perazzi with you. And one thing we didn't get to, Nick, before the game, but we can get to now, is the Perazzi points. Well, we've got a minute here before the second period, so I'll toss it over to you for tonight's Perazzi points.
You really think we were going to go 2 straight games without Perazzi points with the technical difficulties 2 weeks ago, and then this week with the bosses of ESPN telling us how many breaks we got to have? You know, we're going to get these Perazzi points in, and the first one is going to be no free presents, and that's going to be turnovers. And this really goes for the rest of the 40 minutes. It's pretty similar to what we've talked about. No free presents. You know, obviously this will be holiday game, but you can't turn it over. We've seen NC State early in that period, really sloppy D-zone play, turning the puck over behind the net, giving Wilmington good chances. They've got to stop that. Next, don't be a Grinch. Penalties. And NC State's done a good job at that. I'm not talking about the Grinch meme that some people may see about knee surgery. I'm talking about taking bad penalties, being a real Grinch to your team, because that's overall what it is. You take a bad penalty. NC State's doing a good job of that. A lot of credit to current head coach Alex Fong with that. And finally, neat for both teams, and specifically right now for NC State, which was a Perazzi point pregame, if we got that loaded up. Don't watch the ball drop. Talking about the New Year's Eve ball, drop it in Times Square. No puck watching, and NC State's got to fix that right now. If they fix the getting back on defense, they'll fix the rotations, and they'll fix the puck watching overall.
We're just about set for period number 2. The teams will swap ends, so NC State moving left to right across your screen in the black uniforms and the white uniforms. It'll be Wilmington moving right to left. As I said, it'll be interesting to see how the period starts. It felt like Wilmington kind of harnessed some of that momentum, scoring the goal late after giving one up to NC State. But again, the Ice Pack overall, I think, have looked like the better team. They've controlled the neutral zone a little bit better, which is certainly crucial. And more importantly, they've been more opportunistic on the scoreboard. So it'll be Herman centering Finch and Prasma to start the period. Herman will go toe-to-toe here with Corey Levy on the draw. NC State wins it, and they'll retreat to their own end to start. Thronson sweeps it up the wall. He has Prasma there who chips it out. Glove down there by Herman. He'll kick it forward and go after it in a foot race there with Logan Neal. Neal back up the wall, taken by Prasma. Off the skates of Finch with that pass right back to Prasma. He'll turn it along for Thronson, whose shot was deflected, and now Wilmington moves it up and out. Levy has the goal for Wilmington so far tonight. He'll carry it down below the goal line before he loses control. Now Prasma trying to step around his man and does. Plays it off the wall. It deflects off of Herman back to Prasma, who centers for Finch. Off his skate off a defender, back to Finch. His shot fought off by the blocker there of Clancy. NC State will settle the rebound. Pitched in by Herman, who will go off for a change. Behind the goal, Wilmington takes over. Moved up that far right wing. Goes on and off of the stick there of the intended target in Ponzi, and he ends up turning it over. Now Finch chasing it down. He's late in the shift, so unable to get there.
Yeah, Finch and Weglars were not on the same page there. Finch could have easily just gone right on into the zone.
Here comes Wilmington. Bad angle shot. Knocked down by Toyer. Out in front off the skate of Kaufman, and getting a pad to it was Toyer. Moved forward now. Chased down by Shook. He'll look to the middle. He's hooked up. There's a penalty coming here on Wilmington. NC State will have another power play coming as Toyer never made his way out of the net. He didn't see the hand up, but NC State will go on the power play here 1 minute and 32 seconds into the second.
Well, near disaster on NC State's then with almost an own goal. Toyer able to get back out in front and prevent it from going in, and then they get lucky the other way. It's going to be Colin Roberts, he deked me out there. It's going to be Kai Levy going to the box, the leading points getter on defense for the Seahawks. Going to be 2 minutes for a hook, and a really good opportunity for for NC State. As watch Toyer there, didn't get all of it, went back around and then shot right off the skate of Colton Kaufman. Very dangerous, but 1-for-1 on the power play. They've been red hot all season. Can they make it 2 for 2?
NC State wins the draw to start the power play. Shot from Thonson, stopped there by Clancy. Another try from Prasma's high and wide. NC State will press in the corner. Prasma has it taken away. Unable to hold the zone, though, was Shook. They'll battle for it right at the blue line. Prasma has it. Touched along for Robinson. Played back to the middle. Can't connect with a teammate. And now Wilmington trying to create shorthanded. Quick shot just inside the blue line off the blocker of Toyer. As Lucas Moses trying to kill some more time. Shook plays it straight through the middle for Robinson. He'll carry it in. Doesn't have the time and space, so he retreats to the side. Looking to the middle again. Off the skates of Kaufman. NC State goes to work once more. Prasma, one-timer misses wide. Wilmington takes over, and it'll be shoveled out by Logan Neal.
Zach Robinson showing that he's a senior on the ice. Could have easily taken that all the way. Instead, he played it smart, played for a much better shot opportunity.
Robinson turnaround shot in the slot, knocked down there by Clancy. A lot of traffic in front as well. NC State in control, and now the net comes off its moorings as Talon Langston brushed the side of the net going by. And an unfortunate break there for the Ice Pack, who had a lot going for them on the power play.
Yeah, and again, I just want to note on Zach Robinson, that play that he had, easily could have took it 1-on-2 defenders. He was behind them, had to wait up for the puck a little bit. He said, I'm going to extend this offensive chance. I'm not going to get a good look. I think I can generate a better one. They didn't, but I think that was the right play to make there. He's made a lot of great heads-up plays. The assist he has on Ricky Frosch's goal, and then just taking the puck in deep. I think he's been a really phenomenal player for NC State tonight, their best.
Weglars pinches in to hold the zone. 45 seconds left on the man advantage. It's a hooking penalty to Kai Levy. Langston up close there. Moves it up the wall. Button hooks with it there. Plays it down low. Pass back into the middle intended for Braden Strong is stolen and cleared And now Weglars has to race after it. Good hustle play there. We got a penalty coming, though, on NC State as Weglars tripped up his man there in Logan Colbreth after swatting the puck away.
And that's just because of Colbreth hustling down on the other end as he taps Toyer to make sure he's all right. And watch just the hustle. Took a bad bounce off of Weglars. And look at the hustle from Colbreth. Only thing Weglars could do, he got to stick to the puck. He was not going to prevent a trip from happening, though. And it's going to be 2 minutes for Weglars. It's going to be 28 seconds of 4-on-4. NC State will not have a power play goal this time. They'll go 1 for 2 in the night, and Wilmington will get their first look on the man advantage in 28 seconds.
4-on-4 for just under half a minute. Wilmington wins the O-zone draw. Here's Brower along the wall next to his own bench. Tries to play it down low, stolen by Herman. He's got Gifford with him. Back to Herman. He'll play past his man. He's taken down, but the arms stay down, and it'll stay 4-on-4. NC State controls in the corner. Once again, it's Herman. They're just going to play for space backwards, and James retreats in front of Toyer.
Yeah, that's just because Kai Levy is about to come out of the box. They want to have possession when he comes out, like right now, and they'll probably send it deep here.
Herman slowly skating it in, wasting as much time as he can. Now sends it deep. Gifford first to it for NC State. They're going to play the possession game here. Now James across for Frosch. Herman. As the backhanded forward, now Wilmington's power play will take over, but a nice 25 seconds killed by NC State there. Just over a minute left on the power play for the Seahawks here. Up the left wing, Onzi breaks into the zone around James. Looking across, finds a teammate there. Levy shot, deflected wide of the goal. Onzi back on it. Up for Levy. He'll walk the line, fakes the slapper. Give and go, back to Levy again. Shooting through traffic, blocked by Oliver. Wilmington maintains control. Oliver gets a piece of the centering pass as well, and now it's cleared by James.
How about that defense there from Emery Oliver, though, blocking a pass, then blocking a shot to disrupt the UNC Wilmington power play.
There's a delayed icing there that was waved off for Wilmington. Almost a good break for NC State, down a man, but there's only 24 seconds left on the power play. They'll jam away in the corner. 3 Seahawks and 2 Ice Pack players there. NC State comes away with it. Oliver plays it behind his own goal. Frosch back to James. He'll step away from pressure and lift it all the way down the ice. That should finish off the power play for Wilmington.
And that was really just the NC State penalty kill. Not many chances generated for Wilmington on that power play. It was a delayed start because of NC State playing the possession game. They did a fantastic kill.
Here goes Corey Levy. Already has one today. His shot deflected by Thronson. Almost getting a piece of it there was Colbreth as well. With an open net, and Toyer out of position. Wilmington maintaining possession. Taberham shot. Hits a body off the side of the net, and it ends up out of play.
Well, one thing to note on that last play, Taberham took the shot, but Roberts came off the bench. And it was a really good line change from Wilmington to avoid having 6 men on the ice. Came right off the box and off the bench. Immediately skates into the slot to create traffic for that last shot. And that's just a benefit of having this long change that we call. It could be a short change if you're on the offensive end.
Off the face-off, shot from Moses, stopped by Toyer, and he'll seal it off on the side of the goal as well. Puck out of play.
Kai Levy just took down the ref, who took a little bit of exception to it, but he's laughing about it now. He just went sliding across the screen.
So another offensive zone draw for Wilmington. Kaufman to take the face-off for NC State.
Look at all the ice on that linesman, or the ref there, falling down.
Roberts wins the draw for Wilmington. One touch across for Taberham, and the slapper ends up wide of the goal. Wilmington with good pressure here in 5-on-5. Over to the far corner, chased down by Colbreth. He'll win the battle against Brenner. Now Roberts, pinned to the wall by Kaufman. He'll sweep it back below the goal line and behind the goal. Under some pressure, Sodden floats it out in the neutral ice. Pawed down by Kai Levy. He'll force his way into the offensive zone. It's stopped up just inside the blue line. Brenner clears the zone momentarily. Lawson right back in. He's shut down by Thronson. Wilmington shoots it deep once more. Just over 6 minutes gone in the second period. Both teams with abbreviated power plays that they weren't able to capitalize on. It's still a 3-1 lead for NC State as Taberham tees one up and a big blocker save from Toyer. Good pressure here from Wilmington though. Taken out now by Brenner, who's hooked up a bit and loses control. Wilmington again sends it in and keeps the pressure on.
Yeah, they've got the tilt. Once the power play ended for Wilmington, they've been dominant on the possession time, and they're going to keep it that way if they're able to win a draw after Toyer made a glove save. You don't really see more pressure generated at the end of a power play or after a power play ends than on it, but that's exactly what happens for Wilmington. NC State has not gotten it across the center line in about a minute and a half, 2 minutes now. They're just reeling to get it across, but the bright side for them with this long change, they just got fresh bodies out.
D'Andrea off the faceoff, stopped by Toyer, can't find the rebound, and Weglars cleans it up and carries it into the corner. But it gets stuck behind the goal now. 4-man scrum, it squirts loose to Gifford. NC State can break it out now. Lapani gains the red line, plays it to the middle for Langston. He'll curl and drag into the near corner as you get a look in close. Langston knocks his man down, trying to take the puck away. Good work, though, back behind the goal by Brower to maintain control. NC State forces it back from that left wing. Back behind the goal. Now Gifford pestering it in that far corner. Wilmington comes away with it. They'll move it up and out. Lifted in on Toyer, bouncing puck. He'll knock it down and freeze it for a face-off.
And Lapani got tangled up a little bit there with Nick D'Andrea after the play, but he keeps his cool. He won't do anything excessive. Just say, hey, don't do that to me again. He'll skate off. Wholesale line change for NC State. They get pushed back in the defensive end again. The only bright side there, though, is they're able to get fresh bodies up, but you've got to start winning these draws. They're getting outnumbered now on these draws, and they've been losing a lot of them.
They win this one in the defensive zone.
On cue.
James shoots it around the wall, but it'll be held in by Logan over on the far side. Logan Neal, that is. NC State will try the right wing this time. It gets out of the zone, but it's Wilmington with possession. Taberham looks rink wide, able to find Landrum there, but he's knocked off the puck. Here goes Emery Oliver for the ice pack. He'll be bodied up down below the goal line. Puck knocked loose. It'll be taken by Kyle Siggins, who plays it around behind his own net. And Wilmington will look for some space to break out. Stolen away at the blue line, though, by Robinson. He'll work it in. Finds McEnany, shoots and scores. Well, Robinson continues a heck of a game as he sets up McEnany, and it's 4-1.
And again, you mentioned it, Chris. That whole play is generated from Zach Robinson. He is doing it all tonight. Able to pick up a loose puck. What a beautiful pass into the slot as he picked up 2-3 white jerseys on him. And no one was in the slot for Thomas McEnany. We've been harping on NC State's defensive rotations and puck watching. Wilmington just showed it there, and it cost them big time. NC State got that next one, and despite Wilmington having all momentum the first 7 minutes, as I don't think I've heard the frigid sound be any louder than they've been all season, NC State gets one back, and now they've got all momentum, it seems like.
Levy forces his way into the NC State zone, lugs it down behind the goal before NC State takes it away. Finch floats it forward a little bit too long for Prasma, and out of the goal, Clancy clears it up the near wall. It gets into neutral ice. NC State back in control. It's Corwin turning it up that right wing. Finch knocked off the puck in front of his own bench. Here's Corey Levy, banks it off the boards and out. NC State takes back over as Finch shoots it in. Very deep, though. Cleared right back out by the Seahawks. Loose puck collected by Colbreth at the red line. Shoots it all the way across. Onzi will take it off the wall. Levy behind the goal again. Onzi there to help out. Turning with it. Floats it back down for Levy again. He'll look up top. Now Brower at the blue line. Tees one up. Toyer didn't see it until late and missed wide. Back up top for Brower again. He'll shoot. Blocked by Finch. Wilmington continuing with the ozone pressure. This has been more Wilmington's period than the first period. They've spent some extended time down here a couple of times now in the NC State end of the ice. Prasma now finds it in his skates. He'll move it out. Stopped up at the blue line, and NC State's in offside.
Had a body go down for Wilmington. And yeah, shaken up after the play, it seems like, with Zach. I'd say forward from Huntersville, North Carolina. Took just a bad fall as Prasma went around him. Looks like he's able to shake it off and he'll be all right, but it's a tough corner there. Prasma's playing hard through the whistle, and Onze just got taken down and tangled up and fell awkwardly. Glad he's okay, though.
Wilmington wins the draw. Taberham gains the red line and sends it deep. Kaufman in the far corner. Sweeps it up the wall. Taberham will hold the zone. Shot right back down behind the NC State net. Bronson sends it up the far wall again. Breakout pass intended for Shook in the middle is behind him. NC State will try and regroup at their own blue line. They'll turn it over on the pass through the neutral zone. Eventually it'll be controlled by Wilmington. Roberts over to the far side. It'll be shot right in on Toyer, who leaves it for Sodden. Up that left wing wall, Brenner unable to corral. Slapped back in by Taberham, and this time Toyer will hold it in the glove for a faceoff.
Now, right now, Rich Brower, head coach for the Wilmington Seahawks, he's drawing something up on his clipboard. Can't exactly see what it is, but looked like he might be considering some line changes. That's what it kind of looked like a little bit. So maybe something to look forward to for Wilmington. They might be switching some things up, down 4-1, looking for a spark offensively.
And they control another faceoff in the offensive zone. Lugged behind the goal. Weglars ties his man up, and NC State trying to take over. Some help though. Wilmington able to gain control again. Brower across. Shot to the middle, deflected on goal. Toyer got it with a pad, and NC State clears. This will be icing.
And this is where that long change comes into effect. He's tossing out some free t-shirts out in the crowd, but it's going to come into effect for NC State because they've got these tired bodies. They haven't been able to get out. They've been pushed back in the previous defensive possession. Most of them are more fresh bodies than what we saw previously, but it's a long change. You got to win this draw and get out.
Strong to take the face-off for NC State. It's won by Graves of Wilmington. Seahawks doing a great job putting pressure on NC State here. And this end, Brower shot right into the crest of Toyer's uniform, and he'll hold on for another face-off.
Again, going back to that first period, it's starting to become an issue again for Wilmington. High-quality shots are just not being taken. Just a lot of shots from the point, not a lot of traffic in front, not a lot of players going in hard for that rebound or deflect it. They've got to generate something different offensively. They do have a goal from the point, but it was right after NC State got one.
A shot from Dandria deflected just wide off the stick of Weglars. Wilmington, one of the big reasons they've been able to control play so much here in the second period is how many faceoffs they're winning. I know you alluded to it, Nick. A dominant performance in the faceoff circle so far this period.
Outshooting NC State 6-5 right now, too.
Centering pass stolen away. Seahawks will move it up and out. Weglars at the red line, sends it right back into the offensive end. Pinching in strong in the corner, unable to hold. Gets some help up the wall by Lapani, who sends it down low. Here's Talon Langston under some pressure. He'll be pinned to the wall there by Brower. Works his way back up to the blue line. Weglars loads and scores. Oh, what a shot. I don't think it hit anybody on the way through, and Weglars picks up another. It's 5-1.
Oh, just so much traffic in front. This is what Wilmington should be doing offensively. Not NC State, but it's going to work. Just a really good pass by Braden Strong, and look how much traffic's there. Clancy never saw it coming.
And the placement.
Yeah, the placement, bar down. Just passed around Bowman Graves, gave a screen on his own goalie Clancy. He saw it, but it was too late when he saw it. And it's 5-1 Ice Pack all over the Seahawks right now.
We'll see if Wilmington can answer. 8 minutes left in this second period. NC State scoring goals 3 minutes and 41 seconds apart to double their lead here in period number 2. Siggins down low for Wilmington. He's pressured there by Frosch, who staples him to the wall. They'll scrum for it there in the corner. NC State with McEnany, Frosch, and Oliver in there. Siggins getting some help from a teammate in Landrum, and NC State comes away with it. Here's Frosch trying to float a pass forward for Robinson. Ends up on goal, and it jumped off the stick of Clancy, who fortunately had a defenseman there to clean up the rebound. Now Levy, one-man breakout again. Throws it deep behind the NC State net. Hard ricochet off the wall. NC State might be able to catch Wilmington in a change. Oliver touched along for McEnany. Back to Oliver, who's bodied up by Taberham and forced into that left corner. Wilmington finds the loose puck near side. Swept up the wall but not out. Held in by McEnany. He'll play it down low. Robinson to it first. Looking. Cuts to the middle. Still loose there. Can't get the shot away. And the Seahawks take over. They'll move it out. Beautiful stick play there by Frosch to knock it off the stick of Levy. And now McEnany shoots it all the way down and in. 6:45 to go in the second now. Wilmington moves it out. Both teams able to get some much needed changes on the ice. James elevates it through the neutral zone. Unable to corral Prasma, but he does get a stick to it to negate the icing call. He'll go in on the forecheck. Jars it loose. Finch sweeps it towards the goal. It'll be stopped up at the defense and cleared out by the Seahawks. Now Sodden. One hand on the stick trying to fend off a forechecker. NC State collects the loose puck. It's Herman. The captain with some speed down the left wing. Looking to the middle, finds Finch. Oh, and it hopped his stick on the one-touch finish, and it ended up wide.
They did everything right there. Herman and Prasma racing down. How about Finch trailing just a little bit? Nearly got it.
Here they come. They score. Great play at the blue line by Prasma to set it up, and the finish from Herman makes it 6-1.
Captain Zach able to get it done, makes it 6-1, and to really take a stranglehold on this game for NC State. Just kind of leaked around and got some elevation on it. Able to get some air underneath it to get around Clancy. Caught him by surprise. A little razzle-dazzle from Herman as he tries to be nonchalant about it. But a 5-goal lead now for NC State. Yeah, Wilmington's played really good this period. It's just the good shots that NC State's had when they've had them. And that's the reason why they're up by 5.
Well, I think one of the big things as well tonight is this one sent out front off the stick of Toyer. Shook able to sweep away the rebound and find it on the near wall. He'll carry it forward under pressure. Has Brenner with him, crosses past his teammate, trying to work around the defenseman there, and Neal who knocks it loose. NC State will hold the zone. Teeing it up there, Sodden has it fought off by Clancy. Rebound deflected in front and didn't get to the goal. Good pressure from the ice pack though. Bronson's pass is intercepted. Now the Seahawks can move out. It's Colin Roberts. Forces his way to the offensive end before the puck's knocked off his stick, and NC State sends it into the neutral zone. Just over 5 minutes to go now. NC State really taking over the last 5 or so minutes. Picking up a couple more goals. They lead 6-1. Kai Levy now. Gains the red line, sends it in towards Toyer, who gets a stick to it to direct it into the corner. Bronson plays it behind the goal for Sodden. Had some trouble corralling it, turns it over. Here's a good chance for Wilmington, steered on goal, and it's knocked away by Toyer, who also knocks the net off, and we'll get a stoppage. Yeah, no subs are going to be allowed, I think, for both teams. And we'll get a good look at it here. It looks like just NC State. But this pass just squirts out. It's actually Wilmington gaining possession back and sealed off by Toyer. That's come off really, really easily tonight. But Wade Minster just announced it. We have our queso goal for you Ice Pack fans. Village District Moe's. You get your free queso tomorrow. Just say queso goal. Wilmington's done a great job winning offensive zone draws and setting up this period. They do it again here. Toyer makes a save, and now NC State able to lug it out. Shook, stopped up by Levy just across the red line. He'll now head off for a change as NC State needs some fresh legs. Bronson sends it right back to the middle, looking for, they had a couple of options, but NC State's going to ice the puck as that one missed everybody, and will come all the way down in front of Isaac Toyer. 4:10 to go for Wilmington. You're down 5. You got to start playing the game of just timing everything if you want to come back. And you're going to need, I think you're going to need 2 before the end of the period. You need 1 at least, but you're going to be more than happy with 2. And you're going to need 2, I think, but you at least need 1. That's the bare minimum. Gifford getting tangled up, able to get loose and move the puck forward. Has some help as well from Langston stepping in, and a flashy glove save from Dylan Clancy, who flashes the leather on Talon Langston. Yeah, Dylan Clancy showing off a little bit too, and he doesn't have a bunch of traffic in front. Now, he's been left hung and dry a lot from his defense tonight.
And again, right there, NC State just kind of able to walk right on in, take a quick shot, good angle shot too, as they get the defenders off their line. But Clancy able to bail out that defense one more. He's got that Irish flag, I think, on there, on the back of his helmet. Pretty cool to see.
Under 4 to go in the second. NC State outscoring Wilmington 3-0 this period to extend their lead out to 6-1. Icing coming here on Wilmington as the pass forward misses Siggins. And we'll bring it back down in front of Clancy.
Well, that's one area of improvement for Wilmington was icing. That first period, they had about 7, 8 icing calls. This period, I believe that's only their second. So they've improved it a good bit, but other areas obviously need to be improved on since they're being outscored 3-0 again this period.
NC State's strong wins the draw. Quick shot from Langston will be swallowed up by Clancy, and we'll do it all over again.
Well, 3:38 left in the period. I think the second intermission for Alex Fong in that locker room is just going to be, we play these guys again less than 24 hours down in Wilmington, their home. Just play it smart.
Lapani with the shot off the draw, misses wide. Siggins can't clear as Wegler's pinches in, but his second attempt gets all the way out, and Lapani will track it down. Played over to Weglars. Up the middle, touched forward by Strong and in. That will allow NC State to get a change and go in on the forecheck. Oliver fresh off the bench trying to knock it down and can't. Lapani holds the line though in front of his own bench. Gifford. Rink wide for Emery Oliver. He'll carry it into the zone. Off the stick of Lapani. Langston unable to corral, and now Wilmington turns it back up and out. Pass out of the zone, stolen by Weglars. Off the wall, he's got Gifford stepping in. Takes the shot, whistles it wide of the glove side. NC State will pin it in on that far, or on that near wall, I should say. Forced down low, popped up in the air, and eventually it'll be settled by the Seahawks as Corey Levy looking up that far side, can't connect with Onzi, and they're going to wave off icing, and NC State will have to play it. Lapani along for Frosch, who lets it ride. McEnany can't get to it first, and Wilmington will push it back deep into the NC State end. Lapani again, pinned to the wall by Onzi. As Frosch steps around his man, getting some help from McEnany, who sweeps it to the middle. Bouncing puck settled down now by Robinson. He's going to go 1-on-3 here. Has it stripped away. Logan Neal banks a pass up that far side for Colbreth. He'll step around Robinson and into the zone. Hands it off at the blue line. Pass in, deflected by Colbreth, out of play. He couldn't quite direct it on goal, but a good chance there for the Seahawks.
It took an odd bounce to get out of play there. I actually don't know, Chris, if that went into the netting or if it even went off the roof. It went off the red lip, just kind of bounced up. I didn't really see it go out of play there.
I thought I saw it hit the netting. I do think it got out. But Wilmington, a lot of good chances, but nothing to show for it so far in the second period. And they're down to 2 minutes in a period that I really think for most of it, they kind of outplayed NC State. They possessed the puck more and had a lot more time in the offensive end of the ice. Here's Corwin.
They're winning the shot total this period by 2. Overall now, +1 for Wilmington, but they're -3 in the goal department. That's what matters most. Face-offs, too, they're dominating. If you took away the goals, you'd think Wilmington won this period pretty easily, but it's far from that.
NC State being very opportunistic tonight. Wilmington moving it in. Levy chips it into the zone and goes after it. Working against Herman. Has some help from Neal at the blue line to hold the zone. Still loose. Herman swipes it across, looking for Prasma, a little bit too long for his teammate, and Brower's first to it for the Seahawks. He'll be bodied up by Prasma, turns it over, held in by Corwin. His shot deflected wide, thrown on goal from the goal line by Prasma, and it's fought off by Clancy. Just inside his own blue line, Onzi moves it along for Roberts with speed. He has a bad touch and turns it over. Finch playing it forward, looking for Prasma. That one misses the mark, but it's not icing, so play will carry on. Finch now, bodied up in that far corner, pinned there by Lawson. Puck squirts loose at the blue line, thrown in by Thronson, and deflected away by Clancy. 30 ticks left on the second period clock now. Wilmington able to chip it up and out, but not much further than the red line, and now we've got a high sticking call, as Thronson, I believe, got a high stick to it. And the face-off will come into the NC State zone here.
Oh, just 25 seconds left. Really, 26 seconds left. If I'm Wilmington right now, I'm just going all out here, just trying to get one. And 26 seconds left. You've been able to get ozone time. Just try to go all out here. Give it all you got these last 26 seconds. See if you can cut this deficit down to 4.
Roberts wins the draw for Wilmington. One timer off. That face-off will trickle in off a deflection to Isaac Toyer. He'll melt it down with 21 seconds left now.
Well, that body language speaks opposite there. Wilmington seems content with just going into the locker room right now from what we saw there.
This time it's Kaufman winning the D-zone draw for NC State. Having trouble controlling a bouncing puck. Still loose over in that far circle. Wilmington settles it down now. They'll walk with it here. Slid across for Levy. Shot coming off a stick and out of play again. The buzzer sounded right as the whistle went, so I think this will be the end of the period. And NC State, very productive, and Nick, as I mentioned, very opportunistic in that period.
They just took advantage of their opportunities more, and they cashed in on them more than Wilmington. Wilmington won the period in shots. They won the period in terms of face-offs won, ozone time, possession of the puck time, and they're down 3-0 in the period, 6-1 in the game. Just NC State capitalizing and Wilmington not taking high-quality shots, and I really think that's what did them this period. They didn't really take good shots that were going to go in. They kind of just settled for okay shots that didn't really test Isaac Toyer. He's been very good tonight. You're not going to beat him that way. And I think Wilmington has to look for high-quality opportunities going forward.
Yeah, and if you're NC State, I think part of it is the period of the long change. It's a little tougher to get fresh legs out there, particularly when you're stuck in your defensive end. But they do a good job in the D end, and they do an even better job in the offensive end of the ice. They outscore Wilmington 3-0 in the second period. They will take a 6-1 lead into the final 20 minutes. As the Zamboni heads out, we'll take a quick break and come back at the second intermission.
Nick Perazzi back here from Invisalign Arena with intern head coach Alex Fong. It's got to feel good to hear that as well. But you got the boys for NC State going crazy tonight, up 6-1. What was kind of your message going into tonight to them?
Yeah, I mean, we had a couple guys running late from exams, but the message tonight was just do your job. We had kind of flux in the lineup, and then some coaches in, some coaches out this weekend. We're confident with every single guy in that room, so just do your job and we'll be all right.
One thing that you talked to Chris off camera before we even started tonight's game, before some of the players were done with their exams, was discipline. Yeah. Just one penalty in terms of bad discipline. There was, of course, the penalty on Weglars, which was really just a hockey play. Yeah. You know, what you had a great message. What did you kind of tell them, and how are they just kind of buying into that message you had for them?
Yeah, I mean, it's simple. If we play discipline, we win. If we don't, we lose. It's really that simple. So, I mean, we expect a big push from them this next period. We just got to keep our heads and we'll be all right.
Man, and that's something Tim Healy always says. One thing that, you know, watching the leading edge over on the YouTube channel, he says NC State, you know, they always lose to themselves. Yeah. No one else can beat them if they're playing their best. They only lose to themselves. Did you see any moments so far these first 40 minutes of where you guys have kind of beat yourselves in terms of this game? Obviously up 6-1, but were there any moments that you could pick out?
Yeah, I mean, I think we started maybe a little slower than we would have liked. I'll credit most of that to just, you know, the guys coming in and out of exams, rushing over to the rink, stuff like that. We had a couple lapses, but I felt like we rebounded really well, so we were playing well for the most part.
One more question for you here, Alex Fong, here with Nick Perazzi in this intermission interview. Going that third period, up by 5, what's the message for all gas, no breaks here? What are you telling them?
Yeah, I mean, just like you said, it's discipline. We expect a big push from them to start this period to try to give us something back, and we just got to keep our heads and weather the storm.
Well, the third period could set up tomorrow's game in terms of discipline, and that's what Alex Fong is preaching here. Discipline, discipline, discipline for this third period. When we come back, me and Chris are going to break down what we saw in the second period.
Why are sandwiches so much better hot?
I don't know. Why does everyone love summer or hot gossip? Hotter is just better.
Oh, don't forget about hot ovens or hot peppers.
Hot springs, hot chocolate.
Hot sandwiches.
Ooh.
Hot soup, hot air balloons, hot yoga.
I get it. Hotter is better.
Or hot melted cheese. Sorry.
Potbelly, we bring the hot.
From the top of D.H. Hill Library.
Don Diablo. Oh yeah, this is actually like in my studio.
WKNC HD3 Raleigh.
Hey, what's up and what's going on, folks? It's Kid Kinetic, your boy, up here at the top of the hour. And guess what I got? A treat that's too sweet to beat.
This is Wolf Bites Radio.
Oh, that's really sweet.
NC State.
My name is Zach Herman. I'm the captain of the NC State Ice Pack, and I was born and raised in the Raleigh area. We are a self-funded program doing our best to represent our university and the local hockey community in Raleigh on a national level.
My name is Alex James, and I'm a senior assistant captain from Lake Norman, North Carolina. The group you're watching out on the ice is a family, and that family does its best to represent you and the rest of the NC State community as best we can each and every day. Some of my top memories from this program include playing in front of over 20,000 NC State fans at Carter Finley, playing in front of over 10,000 NC State fans at Lenovo Center every year, and getting to play in front of a packed house every Friday night at Invisalign Arena.
We welcome and appreciate all your support along the way. Go Pack!
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Ice Pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Ice Pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
Welcome to Moe's! At Moe's, we've always been inviting, but we have a bigger story to tell. A place that welcomes you to be you. Fresh, high-quality ingredients. We got that. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, let's get weird. We don't judge. Moe's wants you to come in with your crew and their appetites. Dine in, pick up, or order on the Mo Rewards app. Either way, don't just stroll in, roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
Things going well for tonight's bench boss, Alex Fong of NC State, as he's got the Ice Pack up 6-1 after 40 minutes. Chris Lehman, Nick Perazzi with you here. It was a bit of a different period in the second. We're going to take a look at the highlights because Wilmington really carried a lot of the play in the offensive end.
Yeah, they did. And like I said before we went to break, they dominated almost everything else. It starts here, NCN on the power play took a bad bounce. The Weglar strip, they didn't generate it on the power play. It was after the power play. Wilmington got going, just smothering NC State in deep, and including this almost own goal that happened. They get a good shot. Toyer couldn't get all of it, went off this mask and shoulder, and then right back in front, Kaufman, very, very close. But the Ice Pack respond. Thomas McEnany from, so far, leading #1 star of the game, Zach Robinson. Clancy just never knew where McEnany was to go find it. And then how about Weglar's, though, coming in on the other way? A lot of traffic in front. He makes up for his penalty before, which was a hockey play, not discipline. Just finds it, bar down. What a snipe from the point. And then finally, Zach Herman. Just great hustle from Prasma. Herman walks it in and just chips it by Clancy. Just really, really pretty work from NC State. That first line's been phenomenal for the Ice Pack, as well as Zach Robinson as well. The two Zachs are on fire. Holden Kaufman as well. Prasma's generated a good bit. How about McEnany as well? Overall, I think NC State's playing really, really good hockey. They just try to get out of their zone better this next period because I thought there wasn't as much puck watching, but there was a lot of issues getting out of their own zone and breaking it out into the neutral zone.
Yeah, I think some of that has to do with trying to get bodies off the ice on that long change. But one name that we've talked a lot about that I want to highlight here for a minute, Zach Robinson. Heck of a game from him when you talk about senior leadership.
1 goal, 2 assists. I mean, senior leadership is exactly what it is on that 3rd, 4th line all season. But he's been a phenomenal player, and this has been his best game so far tonight. We could see a lot of crazy things happen this next period. I'm sure Zach Robinson's going to stay as the first star for tonight's game. He has just been utterly phenomenal tonight, showcasing all of his skills and really being a good rallying cry, showing that senior leadership and exemplifying what the Ice Pack needed to work on going in tonight and what they've improved on for tonight.
Well, NC State just 20 minutes left, looking to put it in cruise control in the 3rd period. NC State with a 6-1 advantage over Wilmington as we get set for period number 3. We'll be back with Puck Drop after this.
Minute left until we start period number 3 here at Invisalign Arena. Chris Lehman and Nick Perazzi back with you up here in the booth as the two teams get set to head out onto the ice. And Nick, comfortable lead for NC State, as we mentioned, kind of an opportunistic game for this team. Shots are even at 22-22, so when you look at the scoreboard and look at the actual score, it's a little bit surprising.
Yeah, it is, and I think overall, though, for NC State, be able to hang on the rest of this game, up 3-1, or excuse me, up 6-1 right now. You're going to look back on this semester and look how it started with that win against High Point, slow start to get things going, but won that game, I believe 8-2, 8-3. It was a high-scoring game for the Ice Pack. And then looking to this game, you know, you started with the win, a good win. You ended the semester with the good win. All the stuff in the middle does matter, but they've improved on their big areas of concern, I think, tonight, and against Army as well. Army was a tough game, trying to gauge that with just how physical Army was and their style of hockey. They had to match up to theirs more rather than playing their style. Tonight, they're playing their style. They're matching up really good with Wilmington, and they're kind of treating this game as a get-right game. But they still got one more game to go tomorrow night against Wilmington once again. They've got to keep pressure going into tomorrow night. It starts with discipline this third period to set up tomorrow night, and it also starts with just keeping your foot on the gas tonight. You know, try to get that goal differential as high as you can go and keep going against Wilmington, because they're going to come out with a vengeance tomorrow night no matter what.
Just about set to get things rolling here, and I think if you're NC State, you've got to like the way that this game has gone so far, and it just comes down to executing the way they have through the first 2 periods. They're going to go with the line of McEnany, Oliver, and Robinson up front. It'll be Sodden and Thronson on the backside. Corey Levy going to center the forward line for Wilmington with Logan Colbrith and Zach Onsi. On the backside, it's Logan Neal and Bobby Brower for Wilmington. Two teams have swapped ends again. NC State will attack to the left, Wilmington to the right. And we're underway as the Seahawks win the opening draw of the period. They dominated the face-off circle last period, winning 15 of 23 face-offs. Overall, the total of face-offs pretty much dead even. 26 apiece, or 27-25 in favor of Wilmington, I should say now. NC State putting pressure on, though. McEnany looking to the middle. That pass hit a skate. It'll be cleared out by Colbrith, looking for Levy on the near side. NC State to it first. Sodden finds Oliver. He'll poke it around the defenseman there in Neal. Slides into the middle, looking for McEnany. They couldn't connect, and Wilmington will clear it back out to the NC State blue line. Lapani, a lot of space. He'll pick up speed through the neutral zone. Takes the shot, thrown it off the side of the net. He'll get back to the rebound. Couldn't control it, though. Prasma sweeps it in front. That's stolen away by Brower. He'll clear the zone. 1 minute gone in this third period. NC State controlling play. One thing we haven't talked too much about tonight, it's not the biggest crowd certainly we've seen here at Invisalign Arena, but props to the number of fans that have come out tonight. Later start than usual. It's ice cold out there as well, and finals going on for students. Chance here, sliding save made by Toyer as he gets out and stops Chris Lawson on the 2-on-1. NC State will quickly go back the other way. Prasma and Herman. Prasma to Herman. Takes the shot, stopped there by Clancy, and the rebound cleared away. And, pardon me, actually a change in goal for Wilmington this period. Josh Davis, the Wilmington native, in the net making that save.
That's a pretty unexpected change there, Chris. I'm a little surprised they went with a goaltending change as Davis snags that one. I was assuming Davis was going to get the start tomorrow night. He's played in 3 games. The other goalie, Jackson Verska's only played in 1 game, giving up 2. Davis, a save percentage, 829, 3.65 goals against, 12 goals against average. It's a very just puzzling move to me. Down 6-1, I can see why, but a lot of the goals given up have not been on Dylan Clancy. That's why I'm a little puzzled.
First chance, he makes a big save on NC State's captain. See if he gets tested here again as NC State looks to hold the zone. Brenner pins it to the wall behind the net. He's stuck there. It'll be swept along by Wilmington at the defense, and we've got a hand pass on the Seahawks. It'll come back down for a face-off in front of Davis.
I believe that's Marcus Karen, just like, come on now. But he did kind of just throw that puck from almost shoulder height. And you could see the ref behind the play just slowly raise his whistle up. He knew it was going to be a hand pass.
Kaufman to take the faceoff for NC State up against Wilmington's Graves. NC State wins it. Quick shot. Davis able to get a piece of it. Kaufman steals it away just inside the blue line. Leaves it for Shook in the corner. He'll walk in, takes the shot. Stop made there by Davis in tight. He's been tested early and often here in the third, and he's been up to the task. Behind the goal now, NC State's Kaufman, or Shook, pardon me. Leaves it for Kaufman. He'll turn with it under pressure from Karen. Able to find Alex James in the corner. He'll walk it up the wall, throws it on goal, they score! What a tip by Holden Kaufman through the legs of Davis. And NC State's lead is now 7-1.
Kaufman made that feel like a business trip of a goal. I'm surprised he got Wood to that puck. I look from up here, this angle, nearly got his skate. Oh, that was just beautiful, just looking behind, able to poke it around. It's now 7-1 NC State. Chris, I'm going to throw out a little bit of a ESPN type stat here. Since the taunting of the band by Corey Levy, as they make some more noise. But since that taunting by Levy towards the band, NC State's outscored Wilmington by 4-0.
A puck hits the netting, it's out of play, so we'll get a stoppage and a face-off in the NC State end. Ice Pack out shooting Wilmington here in the first 3 minutes, 5-1 this period. Shots were at a premium last period. As you get a look at the frigid sound, they've enjoyed themselves tonight. Might be wearing themselves out with the number of times they've played for the goal song.
They've got a basketball game tomorrow as well against Florida State. They had a home game Wednesday against Texas. Exam season for them too. They're a pretty busy bunch as well.
Strong on the draw for NC State. Wins it over Casey Landrum, and NC State looks to clear. Neal holds the zone at the near blue line. Poked up the wall now by Sodden. He's got Langston. Breakout pass, skate to stick for Strong. Sweeps it across for Gifford. Back into the middle, and NC State's Thronson, the defenseman stepping up, and the rush was tied up. Gifford off the wall, back for Langston, looking for space. Here's Sodden. Thrown across the ice, taken off the wall by Strong. Tried to touch it along for Gifford, they couldn't connect. NC State will bring it in now. Langston looking to the middle, throws it off the pipe. Saw a spot on the high short side, just about hit it. Stretch pass to Strong, he'll deflect it into the zone. NC State can get a change. Here's Brower for the Seahawks, breaks it out up the wall. Pass fanned on there by Levy. NC State holds the zone for the moment. Brower decides this time to carry it up and out himself. Knocked off his stick right to Onsi, shoots through traffic. Blocker saved by Toyer, and he fights off the rebound as well. Weglars now protecting the puck, looking to the near side for space, and he finds it. Looking to chip it deep. That one hits a body on the way in. Levy slaps it back up the wall. Beautiful move there by McEnany to break in. Levy eventually takes it away, and now Wilmington will set up the breakout. Levy again. Floats it up the wall, bouncing puck, struggling to hold it there was Colbreth. It does escape the zone. NC State has to check up on the delayed offside. Brower lays a hit on Oliver, who finds an open McEnany. Back to the middle. Oliver fighting for it. He's going to be run over in the slot, and Brower getting called for the penalty here. Oh, see what it is. I'm a little bit surprised that that was the hit that drew the penalty. I'm guessing we're going to see a charging call here, but the puck was in Oliver's skates when he got hit. I'd be a little surprised to see interference here.
See what this call is on Bobby Brower. Cross-check. It's that takedown right there. Got him a little high. I can see how they can call that a cross-check. They call it on that hit, not the one that you thought, Chris. And NC State right back on the power play. 1 for 2. Last one got cut a little bit short due to the next penalty they took from Weglars, but they have a chance to go 2 for 3 on the night.
And they'll win the draw to start. Shot from Prasma. Looks like it caught a piece of Davis, who kept it out. Clearance fails there. Second try doesn't get out either, and NC State will hold the zone. Stumbling to the ice, Thronson able to keep it in the offensive end. Now Shook, tangled up with Levy in the corner as they go after it along the wall. Kaufman there to help along with Robinson. Levy ends up with the loose puck, trying to pitchfork it out and can't. Thronson now, back to Prasma, shoots through traffic, it's off the blocker of Davis and into the netting behind the goal.
A couple more good looks. It seems like as this game goes on, NC State's getting better looks closer and closer to the net rather than further and further. They've established themselves up close and personal with whoever's been in net tonight for Wilmington. Up first with Dylan Clancy, and especially now Josh Davis is getting a rude welcome as NC State's just pounding his face, just making their presence known in front of him.
They'll win another draw here on the power play. Nick Shook at the blue line. Looking down for Robinson, he'll backhand it under the goal line. Wilmington gets to it first, and it'll be cleared out by Logan Neal. 50 seconds gone on the power play. NC State with their top unit still out there. Shook, rink wide for Prasma with speed. He'll carry it into the zone. Around Levy and behind the goal. Looking for help out in front, it's not there, so he'll protect the puck. Has some help from Shook. Now Kaufman leaves it for Shook again as Prasma loses his stick. Robinson out in front. Levy might have gotten a stick to that shot, as Robinson had a chance for another. Cleared out now by the Seahawks. Penalty kill. Still some work to do. NC State trying to break it out as it gets jammed up along the wall. Still in the NC State zone. Kicked out into neutral ice now. Herman dispossessed. Colbreth shoots it in for Wilmington. 6.5 minutes gone in this third period. NC State running out of time on the power play. Just 10 ticks left on that clock. A cross-ice pass taken off the wall by Herman. Leaves it for Gifford. Turnaround shot. Misses wide. Back out in front. Davis with the save. The rebound goes. That'll be a power play goal for Talon Langston. And it's 8-1.
Well, it all starts. I believe it was Gifford spinning like a dreidel top with the little spinorama. Watch Herman drop it right back for Gifford. Look how much room he has. Spins around, can't get it, but a good rebound. Just denied up close from Strong. Herman's going to block a really good look of that goal, though, from Langston. Just found the open area, was able just to one-time at home. Passes Josh Davis. It's now 8-1 NC State.
Ice Pack 2 for 3 on the power play as well. Wilmington straight into the offensive end off the face-off. Shot misses wide off the stick of Casey Landrum. But Wilmington will hold the zone. Fight for it in the corner. Rink wide pass misses Robinson, but he'll beat out the icing call. Looking out in front, unable to connect. Makes its way to Frosch. Looks across. Robinson unable to receive the pass. Space coming in now. Wilmington looking for a second goal, and spilling out in front of the net there was Nolan Taberham. Out in front again, Taberham with the deflection. The rebound he can't steer on goal. Couple of good chances there for the Wilmington defenseman. Here comes Robinson, already a three-point night. He'll be bodied up in the corner by Brower. Behind the goal, it's collected by the Wilmington defense. Onzi for Brower. His breakout pass slapped back in by Lapani. Brower has it again. He'll skate it out this time. Poked off his stick by Lapani. James watching Brower, who gets back to it. Doing all the work himself here on the break-in. A little over 8 minutes gone in this third period. NC State has added 2 more to their lead. Most recently, a power play goal from Talon Langston. Now Levy looking to the middle. That pass disrupted. Herman will pitch it up, but not out. It got an awkward carom off the glass. Now Robinson finds Lapani. Forward to Prasma from the top of the circle, and a glove save made by Davis. Will get a face-off in front of the Wilmington net. 11:28 to go in this third period, and Nick, we mentioned that NC State was going to have to adjust a little bit after Wilmington kind of carried the play that second period, and this may have been their best period so far.
Yeah, and I think it is. It's more of a summary of the whole game of why we're at 8-1. If they played like this the whole game, I could see that. But, I mean, Wilmington was in this game. It's just NC State capitalized on their chances more. Like you mentioned it a lot, Chris. They were opportunistic all game. As we get some more extracurriculars. Again, nothing too much. Plasma in the middle of it, as one would expect. But they just capitalized more, and I think offensively they just took better chances. They were the better team offensively in terms of set plays, getting traffic in front, and taking better shots.
Prasma off the draw has his shot deflected wide. Behind the net, fighting for it, Herman. Winning the battle, though, is Kai Levy for Wilmington. He'll break it out. Roberts off his skates in the neutral zone. Wilmington still struggling to control the puck between the blue lines. Here's Prasma. Leaves it in the skates of Finch, who has trouble finding it. It ends up with Prasma, who swats it into the zone. 10:55 remaining. Got a penalty coming up here. I think Prasma will be called. We have both arms up from the officials as NC State will look like they touched up. Play will carry on. Roberts' shot blocked. Now it'll be collected by Sodden, and it will be Daniel Prasma to the penalty box with 10:43 to go.
Third penalty against NC State. It's going to be 2-minute minor for slashing. So Alex Fong not going to be too happy about taking a penalty with 10:43 to go. But Chris, I think it's not an after the play penalty. It's not a penalty from a hit. It's from a slash. It's not a retaliatory or emotional penalty. I think you'll be okay with it. But another penalty for NC State's been a problem early this season. You don't want it to creep back. I think they've done a good job, but in a game like this, you just want to get out clean.
Wilmington wins the ozone draw. Shot through traffic, stopped by Toyer. Rebound. Not sure what it hit on the way in, but unfortunately for Roberts, it didn't find the back of the net. And so right off the start of the power play, a couple of good chances there for the Seahawks.
Yeah, there's just a lot of bodies in front. I think that's what it was, about 4 bodies right in front of Colin Roberts.
On immediate stoppage after the face-off, looks like the puck ended up out of play. They're debating whether or not this should come out of the zone. I think it'll stay in, though, and they'll do the face-off all over again. Still 1:51 left on the penalty to Daniel Prasma. McEnany and Roberts square off on the draw. Roberts wins it for the Seahawk power play. Another shot off the face-off, stopped by Toyer. Behind the goal, Roberts wraparound try, he scores. Toyer just got a little bit too far off of the near post and couldn't get back. Roberts puts the second one home for the Seahawks.
Well, now up to 26 points on the year, 13 goals and 13 assists. We said you got to look out for him in the pregame. And 18 seconds into the power play, he gives Wilmington a huge goal to cut the lead down to 6. And it was a really pretty goal. He gets Toyer off right there. Langston ran into him, and then there's just nowhere for Toyer to go. He was so far out. A really good heads-up play from Colin Roberts. It's a veteran move to go around with a wraparound there, knowing he got Toyer off his line and out of the goal. Heck of a play by Roberts.
Well, special teams for both of these two squads has been solid tonight. They're combined 3 for 5. I guess I should specifically say on the power play. They are combined 3 for 5. Shook dangling through the Seahawk defense. Looking for space, finds it with Ricky Frosch at the blue line. Given back to Shook, who shields off his man there in Graves. Back up for Frosch once more. He'll force it down the wall. Poked away by Graves and out, and he'll go after Shook on the way past.
They're talking to each other right now. Reeves give a little hit. Shook's just
nice job by Shook, just skate away from it. Then Shook sends it deep as he takes a hit from Brower. Something about Shook that this Wilmington team does not like right now. And if you're NC State, that's the stuff you want to stay out of for the last 9.5 minutes of this game. Icing called here on Wilmington, and the face-off will come all the way down.
He's not letting Shook get to the bench. He wants to draw a penalty from him. And the whole bench was telling him to get back. He's jawing with Bobby Brower, Rich Brower's son. He's got to go back out for another shift. He was more worried about talking with Shook, trying to get a penalty on him.
9:25 to go. Face-off won by NC State's Braden Strong in the O-zone. Chipped deep by Wegler. Strong back to it behind the goal. He'll be pestered in the near corner. Working it up the wall. Brower hacking away at him. Down low, looking for Langston. That one's turned over. Here goes Logan Neal. Wilmington will bring it into the offensive zone. Neal dragging through the defense. He'll chase it down in the corner. Slaps it to the middle. Deflected back up top. And Wilmington trying to set up, unable to do so. Chipped out by Weglars and all the way down. Not enough for icing. Levy first to it for the Seahawks. Gifford in on the forecheck. Levy just going to skate it out himself. Knocked down there by Strong as he tried to gain the zone. Langston finds the loose puck. He'll move forward. Talon Langston gains the blue line. Crossing over to the near side. Has the puck knocked off his stick. Seahawks take over. Gifford in on the forecheck. Puck comes loose. Langston's shot deflects over to the far side.
Langston's stick just got knocked out.
These officials are going to need to call something, I think, soon. You're starting to see this play away from the puck and after the whistle elevate on both sides. You don't want it to boil over into something.
And I think NC State's done a good job of holding their emotions. Whatever Alex Fong said, he's not a man of many words in that interview, but whatever he said in that locker room has really resonated with the players in black tonight.
Under 8 to go. Lead for NC State is a comfortable 8-2 right now as an errant pass turns into a free clear for NC State. Here's Prasma off the turnover. Nifty move behind the goal but couldn't take the puck with him. Wilmington can't clear the
penalty coming up.
And a delayed penalty, as you mentioned there, Nick. So an extra attacker coming out here for NC State, but not before Corey Levy touches up. And it's going to be, it looks like head contact is the penalty call. And it'll be, I'm not sure, we don't have a 9 on the roster, but it'll be number 9 for Wilmington headed to the penalty box. I believe actually, as I look at the helmet, that's Joseph Moran who heads to the box.
Not happy, threw his stick down in there as well. Just a frustrating night for Wilmington, and you've got a chance for redemption back home tomorrow night, but to play like this or to, outplay NC State a whole period really seemed like a good 40 minutes. Play with NC State, if not be better than them. They'd be down by 6 goals as the chippiness continues.
Here is a shorthanded chance and a sliding play made on the 2-on-1 by Weglars to shut that down. Great play defensively, and now NC State can reset with the power play. 20 seconds gone on the man advantage. Headman by Herman for Strong, who drops it back. The captain carries it down low. He'll set up in the corner, plays it back up top for Weglars. Thrown down low, that pass stolen away. Brower will clear it out. Wilmington trying to generate some shorthanded opportunities. Onzi for Levy. Dropped in the corner, Gifford first to it for the Pack. He'll turn behind his own goal and find some space to work. Levy pinching in on the forecheck. He has it knocked loose, and Langston will take over. At the blue line, he leaves it for Strong. High slot finds Weglars. Shot coming, he scores. Davis was off the near post, and Weglars picks up another. It's 9-2.
And another one on the power play for NC State. Second goal for Weglars tonight. This time there wasn't a lot of traffic from the point from where he got it, but he'll take goal number 2 in the night. Strong just drops it off, skates into the open area. Just Kai Levy's stick just could not get over there in time, wasn't expecting it. That's what happens shorthanded sometimes, though. Barely get out of position, it just doesn't work as well. And NC State up 9-2 now. The chippiness continues, though. Back into that play, Corey Levy, before that goal happened, was getting into Daniel Gifford a little bit, knocked his glove off, and Gifford refrained from retaliating.
Slapped in by Roberts. Wilmington looking to go to work on the forecheck. Absorbing a hit, Corwin. Puck pops loose, and it looks like the Wilmington player who tried to lay the hit actually ended up hurting himself. Puck chipped in by McEnany. NC State with a pseudo-man advantage here, as slow to get up as Chris Lawson. He's going to skate back into the play and try and carry on. There he is with the puck as he scoops up a loose one. Skates behind the goal, turns it right over to McEnany, top of the circle. Shot coming, save made, and Davis, they held on to it. They gave him some time to play it, though, and will carry on. Levy, thrown off the wall in front of his bench. Roberts to it. He'll skate around James down the right wing. Looking to the center. Pad save made by Toyer. Rebound try for Lawson, and it's sealed off down low by Toyer again.
Got to tip the cap to Chris Lawson there. He took a hard spill into the boards. Looked pretty hurt. Came back, hustled back the other end, played a good defensive play, and then hustling on that rebound, trying to generate another offensive opportunity. Down 7 in the game. You love to see that hustle, though, if you're the Wilmington coaches.
McEnany finds Herman breaking in. Shot misses wide. Rebound off the back wall. Steered off the side of the goal by McEnany. Wilmington eventually gains control. Can't clear it out, though. Walking the blue line, James. Plays it down into that far right corner. Finch touches it now for Herman into the middle. Can't connect with the black jersey, and Wilmington clears to the neutral zone. Under 5 to go now. NC State looking like they're going to pick up a win in their final home game of the 2024 calendar year. As we've mentioned, they'll be in Wilmington for a 10 o'clock puck drop tomorrow night to close out the semester. As Sodden carries it out of the zone himself, he'll go straight through the neutral zone. Plays it along, looking for Prasma. It's caught up in skates. Prasma finds it, can't center it, as it's taken away by Taberham and swept around the near wall. 4:20 left in the game. Pinned in the corner. Eventually squirts loose where Brower can take over. Up for Dandria. Back to his defenseman. Played across to Taberham. Again for Brower. Thinking about stretching it out. Decides to play it short for Graves. He'll chip it forward for Dandria. Fans on the sweep in. And Bronson throws it back up the right wing wall. Finch has a ton of time and space. He'll leave it for Kaufman with speed and then go off for a change. Kaufman, beautiful backhand try and a nice save made by the glove of Josh Davis.
3:48 left, Chris. NC State up 7. I think we can start just kind of reviewing the first semester of the season for NC State, just as a whole. And you know, it started out with a fantastic start, 7-0, almost 8-0, and then that loss to UNC up 4-1 going into the period break. And they blew that game. They blew a lot of other games as well. The shook shot misses high, but there were some really rough patches for NC State, and I've always said it this whole season. I keep saying it.
Big save there by Davis. Another good shot from Shook. And we'll get another offensive zone draw for the Pack.
But I keep saying it, Chris. We haven't seen the best NC State team this season, and I think tonight might be the closest from what we saw, especially if you eliminate that second period. They're still trying to find their niche group of players in terms of putting people on lines and playing time. But with injuries just stacking up, you know, right now with exams as well, no Reese Johnson, you're starting to see that these lines mold. And we're starting to see players generate more chemistry. We're starting to see the leadership generate. And sometimes you need those losing streaks to build character. You need it to kind of build more work effort and get you closer as a team.
Certainly seen some big strides over the last couple of weeks, it feels like, from this NC State team. As tonight and the game against Army, to me, have been two of their most consistent efforts, along with the first game they played against Penn State back in late October. Some of the best games that we've seen out of this team. And they come strong.
And they play hard teams too. They're not playing cupcakes every single game. They're playing really good teams that are talented all around. And the way they played, sometimes you get a penalty coming up.
Beyond Braden Strong here. 2:42 to go. Wilmington's going to spend some time on the power play.
2-minute minor for a cross-check on Braden Strong. Something you don't really see out of him. Taking penalties. But I think overall, I think the just most impressive moment for NC State the first half of the season was that Army game. You know, just an embarrassing loss the night before, having to drive to Fayetteville, short turnaround. You know, you had to go onto a military base, had to do some checks there as well. And then playing a really physical Army team, the best in the Northeast region, and having your captain, Zach Herman, get an overtime winner. Just phenomenal work from him, following up with a 9-2 performance tonight.
Wilmington looking to set up the power play. Here's Brower at the top of the umbrella. He'll tee one up. That one didn't get through traffic, and it'll be cleared out by Alex James. Oh, the bouncing puck stayed in on the... looked like it did. Looks like they did eventually call it a delayed offside, and NC State clears.
Just Bobby Brower was like, do I touch it or do I not? He decided not to, and just to reset the offense as a Wolfpack chant breaks out into Invisalign.
Onzi will break it into the zone for Wilmington. Stepping in around NC State's Ricky Frosch. Now they can set up the man advantage. Still a little over a minute left on the power play. Brower across for the one-timer, deflected in. Beautiful finish there for Wilmington as they pick up their second power play goal of the game and the period. And it's going to be Onzi from Levy and Brower.
We've had 5 power play goals and just 2 penalty kills tonight. 5 for 7, both teams combined on the power play, just working it point to point. Brower finds a home. Beautiful play, though, crashing in front. I believe that was Zach Onze. Just following through on the shot, being able to deflect it past Isaac Toyer. Really nice play call by Wilmington. And they're not going to go down without a fight. Obviously, this game out of reach for Wilmington, but they got to generate some momentum for tomorrow, and that will definitely do that.
Herman to take the face-off against Bowman Graves of Wilmington. Fight for it in the center ice circle, and Wilmington wins that draw. NC State in on the forecheck. Prasma knocking it loose. Chipped off the wall and out. Thronson shoots it right back across and in. 90 seconds left in this one. With the late start, a lot of the NC State faithful seeing this one in hand have made their way to the exits, but the faithful who have stayed will get to see an impressive NC State finish here in this third period, out-shooting Wilmington 13-7. And of course, outscoring them 3-2 as this one's pitchforked up into the netting, and we'll get a face-off with 1:06 to go.
Well, again, just rest of this game, 1:06 left. Just set yourself up for tomorrow. I think it's going to be a very, very physical game tomorrow, Chris. Both squads, especially Wilmington earlier this period, trying to get underneath NC State's skin a little bit. They were the ones kind of drawing everything. And I think, going into tomorrow, it's going to be the same message for Alex Fong to that locker room.
Prasma beats out the icing, centered for Herman. His one-timer disrupted, and Wilmington will look to skate it up and out. NC State going to get a penalty here. This will be a slash on Herman. Don't think he liked the extra collision he got from Karen.
Oh, a couple of shots. They're not happy that Lapani went into the open net there.
This is where NC State needs to just get away
D'Andrea's
from
taking
it.
massive exception to this. Lapani not really doing much.
He looks like he's trying to get away.
And the ref just tackled D'Andrea. I don't know what Lapani, obviously Lapani in the wrong there. They're going to take D'Andrea. They might just send him off. Yeah, and they're going to kick D'Andrea out of the game.
He and Lapani have both been sent to the locker room.
I don't really understand Lapani. I guess Lapani, that's a big no-no, obviously. You don't put the goal into the empty net after the play, but D'Andrea just took massive exception. Lapani didn't do much. D'Andrea's getting tackled by the referee here. And this is
it's what initiated that got Lapani into it, I think. And I would imagine the two of them will get unsportsmanlike conduct penalties.
And there's 44 seconds left, too. There's just no business to just let it all out now. And Herman took a penalty, too, on that. He's in the box, as it is, no matter what.
Yeah, it's a slashing penalty. D'Andrea has a 2-minute penalty up on the board as well. Be interested to see how that all shakes out. But based on how it transpired, I'd have to say NC State probably going to be killing off a penalty here for the last 44 seconds. And I would assume it's matching penalties for Lapani, although it looks like D'Andrea may have gotten an extra one because Benny will serve for D'Andrea in the box.
With this much time left, I just don't understand what caused D'Andrea to keep going after him there. Just didn't make sense. Benny's going to be in the box for Wilmington. So this is what happened afterwards. Pawnee tried to skate away and just was not able to.
And that might be why D'Andrea gets the extra, because he just didn't let it go. So it'll be 4-on-4 here for the final 44 seconds. Herman in the box for NC State. Benny serving the D'Andrea penalty in the Wilmington sin bin. Thronson throws it deep. I think we're seeing here a little bit of de-escalation on both sides. NC State will possess around the outside. Shook over to Prasma, takes the shot. Stop made there by Davis. Prasma behind the goal. Beautiful move to get free. Finds Thronson top of the circle. Cross for Shook. His shot hit a man, and out of play it goes.
That puck went all the way across the rink there on the deflection.
That one stung Logan Colbreth in a little bit of pain getting off the bench.
12 seconds left. They're playing like there's a whole 5 more minutes left in this game.
.12 seconds left. Kaufman on the face-off. Wilmington wins it as Bradley Gray able to tie things up. Tabraham steers it back behind the goal for Moran. Tabraham again, and that will bleed out the final seconds. And it got a little rocky late, but NC State, Nick, does come away with a convincing 9-3 win.
Yeah, they do, and one of their best wins all season. Circumstances involved. Onze and Shook hug each other a little bit. It was a very big win for NC State. They needed a game like this just to get their footing right, but they've got to play this team again tomorrow. And the way this game ended is a little bit concerning, but I got to give a lot of credit to NC State. Wilmington did everything they could to try to get a penalty from NC State, and NC State held their own there. They didn't. I mean, obviously the one on the Pawnee, but again, he was trying to get out of that jam. It was for what he did beforehand. And I got to give a lot of credit to whatever message Alex Fong gave to that locker room to keep their heads in check, because it's been a problem all season. We've heard that locker room get loud post games because of penalties being taken by NC State players tonight. I think the 3 that they took weren't emotionally based.
And that's one thing I would hit on for NC State. I think that you've got to be careful is the way that the game ended. You can't let that carry over into the game tomorrow, because that's the way that Wilmington is able to stay in the game. If they can get NC State shorthanded a few times, capitalize like they did, because late their power play was very good. 2 for 3 in the third period for the Seahawks. Didn't really get much time on the third power play, so it was an excellent finish for Wilmington, particularly in the way that their special teams performed. But they're a team that can be dangerous. So if you're NC State, you did get the 9-3 win tonight, but you have to continue to play the way they did for the majority of the game.
Yeah, and there's a lot of friends on each other's teams. I mean, Shook, Prasma, Kaufman, they're talking to Zach Onze as well as Colin Roberts right now. And also saw a couple Iceback players, Luke Gifford, Strong, and Weglars. After the play, they were talking to Lucas Moses, who's from Holly Ridge. So these teams know each other well, which sometimes could get that physicality going as well. You know who you're going up against. But again, it's going to be all about just keeping your head composed tomorrow, playing with your head, not your emotions for tomorrow night's game.
Yeah, and as we look back, you mentioned the development for NC State over the course of this semester. It'd be interesting to see how that carries over into the second semester schedule, because there are still, obviously, the postseason very important, but there are some important games coming up, including the Governor's Cup at PNC Arena late January against UNC. You've got Delaware as well. You still have the battle for the wagon wheel with Liberty in that home-and-home series. Virginia Tech, a home-and-home series as well. So a lot coming up for NC State as they get set for the second semester.
Yeah, and it's really going to start right when they come back. They've got Delaware for 2 games. Unfortunately, I will not be there for those 2 games, Chris. I've got some duties to do for my major, going to a meteorology conference. But right after that, you're at Liberty, and then you have the home-and-home with Liberty. Then you have the Governor's Cup. Then you're against home-and-home with Virginia Tech, and then a home-and-home with UNC to finish it. That's a very, very hard schedule overall with everybody involved, all those rivalries, and how about Virginia Tech? How about Peduzzi over there leading all of ACHA in points? That's something NC State's got to look out for in that second semester.
So a lot to look forward to in the second semester here for NC State hockey, but a 9-3 win in their final home game here in the fall semester. We're going to take a quick break. We'll have the first star of the game, Zach Robinson, joining us post-game when we come back. Final count here at Invisalign Arena. NC State 9, Wilmington 3.
My name is Zach Herman. I'm the captain of the NC State Icepack, and I was born and raised in the Raleigh area. We are a self-funded program doing our best to represent our university and the local hockey community in Raleigh on a national level.
My name is Alex James, and I'm a senior assistant captain from Lake Norman, North Carolina. The group you're watching out on the ice is a family, and that family does its best to represent you and the rest of the NC State community as best we can each and every day. Some of my top memories from this program include playing in front of over 20,000 NC State fans at Carter Finley, playing in front of over 10,000 NC State fans at Lenovo Center every year, and getting to play in front of a packed house every Friday night at Invisalign Arena.
We welcome and appreciate all your support along the way. Go Pack!
From the top of D.H. Hill Library.
Don Diablo. Oh yeah, this is actually like in my studio.
WKNC HD3 Raleigh.
Hey, what's up and what's going on, folks? It's Kid Kinetic, your boy up here at the top of the hour. And guess what I got? A treat that's too sweet to beat.
This is Wolf Bites Radio.
Oh, that's really sweet.
NC State.
At Moe's, we've always been inviting, but we have a bigger story to tell. A place that welcomes you to be you. Fresh, high-quality ingredients. We got that. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, let's get weird. We don't judge. Moe's wants you to come in with your crew and their appetites. Dine in, pick up, or order on the Mo Rewards app. Either way, don't just stroll in, roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Ice Pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Ice Pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
Life is for learning, from baby steps to big ideas. We plan, try, fail, and do better next time. Each day is a new experiment, a fresh chance to seek answers, connection, purpose. The mind is not a vessel to be filled. It's rocket fuel. And when you start at NC State University, you can't be stopped. NC State. Think and do.
Nick Perazzi back here on ESPN Plus with our star of the game, Zach Robinson. 1 goal, 2 assists. Talk us through how big of a night was for not only yourself, but the team as a whole.
I mean, as far as the team goes, we've had a little bit of struggles recently. Got a big win against Army a couple weekends ago, but this game kind of it made us feel like we had our identity back, like we had our energy back, and just start to finish, just took it to them.
Well, as a senior in that locker room, Zach, obviously we've seen senior leadership the last 2 games now, with that Army game 2 weeks ago and now tonight, just kind of take a big hold. What have you done in that locker room to get the team as a whole to get moving forward and have a game like they did tonight?
I mean, the motto is always on to the next. Like, after a game is over, it's kind of just nothing can control the outcome of that game anymore. So kind of just focusing on positive energy, especially on the bench, and just all around having a good group of guys in the locker room helps.
And another piece of adversity you guys have had to overcome this season has been injuries. I mean, looking at the scratch sheet from before the game tonight, only 1 or 2 players were healthy scratches, and they had exams or other obligations. And then you guys were down all 3 coaches tonight. Alex Fong there coaching. What was kind of just the vibe going into tonight's game with all those things going against you guys, and what did you guys do to prepare for that?
I mean, obviously it was a tough situation not having Tim, Alex, and Eric on the bench, but we trust Najib and Fong completely, and the motto kind of going into tonight was that we had everything against us, and all we had to do was go out and play hockey the best of our ability.
One last question for you here, Zach Robinson. 1 goal, 2 assists tonight. Discipline has been a big issue. Alex Fong before the game and during an intermission said discipline is the big key here. We've got to be smart in how we play. And, as a senior, we saw a lot of guys just refuse to retaliate on Wilmington, trying to get underneath your guys' skin. Is there something you guys said in that locker room about it? We heard a couple times from the bench, especially with Nick Shook telling Nick to come back to the bench. What was just kind of overall the message to the team for discipline tonight?
I mean, we knew it was going to be a chippy game. It's always a heavy emotional battle with these guys, so just staying out of the stuff. I mean, it was the biggest reason we won tonight was because we stayed disciplined, stayed out of the box.
And discipline is something that NC State has worked on. 1 goal, 2 assists tonight from our star of the game, Zach Robinson. When we come back, Chris is going to have an interview with intern head coach Alex Fong after he picked up his first ever win as a head coach.
It's a 9-3 win for the Ice Pack over UNC Wilmington here tonight. Chris Lehman joined by interim head coach Alex Fong. First of all, congratulations on the first win as the bench boss. How was it being kind of the head coach tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it was great. I think we've done a lot of preparation throughout the year, so it was a really seamless transition. Like, all the work that we put in August to now really wasn't anything special.
Well, as we look at the game now, obviously a pretty solid effort all the way through for your guys. One thing that we did notice, it felt like Wilmington was able to control a little bit more of the play in the second period. What was it that they were doing, or what was it about that 20 minutes that just seemed to lend itself to them a little more?
Yeah, I mean, you're never going to play a perfect game.
Yep.
It kind of ebbs and flows, and they did have us for maybe a little bit, but I thought our response was good.
And then the power play as well. Special teams was very good tonight. You go 3 for 4. What can you say about the way that they played?
Yeah, I mean, we've been working on that for a long time now. We're really happy with how they played. Gave up a couple shorties, which we're going to have to take a look at and hopefully prep for tomorrow. But overall, pretty happy.
Well, and as you look ahead to tomorrow, obviously final game of the semester, what are you looking for out of the guys? Especially as it got a little bit spicy there at the end between the two teams. What do you expect going into that game tomorrow?
Yeah, just a continuation of that. They always play us really tough at home. I think we beat them by a lot here last year, and then we went to their barn, and they took us to overtime. So we really need a good start there.
Well, NC State 9-3 winners here tonight over UNC Wilmington. For NC State fans, don't forget you can go to the Village District Moe's and say queso goal. Get your free queso tomorrow. Again, congratulations, Alex, on that first win, and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
That's it for us here at Invisalign Arena tonight. Final home game of the semester for NC State goes well. They win 9-3 over Wilmington.